Today I have for you 80 Christmas Dollar Tree DIY crafts. Let's get started. I found these two wreaths. This one is an 18-inch evergreen wreath, and I brought home several of those as well as several of these 15-inch tiny ones. For the first project, I am going to take one of each, remove the tag, and then we're just going to fluff them. Obviously, we need to fluff these wreaths. Please do not use them without being fluffed. And my advice is when you are fluffing them, avoid doing this, just spreading them to the sides. Just fluff them in every direction, particularly towards the front of the wreath. But I'm not worried about fluffing them towards the back because you won't be able to see that, and I want all the bristles to be towards the front. I did the same thing on the little small one, keeping the same format of fluffing. Now I'm going to look for where the wreaths are joined, and I'm going to join them both together, just like that. We're going to take some of these garland ties from Dollar Tree. We're going to cut one into three pieces, and then we're going to use those to tie these two together. So just put them underneath, bring them from the front, and then just twist. And do the same thing with the other two pieces. This is going to join them nicely and tight. Now we have what it looks like a little snowman. All right, so now I'm just going to kind of shape the circles, the wreath in a nice circular shape. And we're going to take some fabric. This fabric is actually from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to fold it into threads, creating a belt. We're going to create a cute little, like Santa of kind of theme wreath. And I'm just going to want to make a belt for him. So I'm going to fold it and hot glue all the way towards the back. This is going to give me the shape of a belt. And then I'm going to fold it in half, iron it just a bit. This is going to give me right where the center point of the belt is. We're going to bring in this iron-on glittery vinyl. Now, I got this one on Amazon, but Dollar Tree does carry a glittery style vinyl that you can iron on in the vinyl area or crafting area. So now that I have a belt buckle cut off, I am going to iron it on to the center of the belt. And look how beautiful this looks. Oh my word, my friends, gorgeous. All right, before we put on the belt, I want to add a little bit of embellishment right there to the center of the wreath. I'm just going to add a few more greenery picks. This is just going to add fullness and just dimension with the different green tones. I am then going to add one of these poinsettias. They are from a potted kind from Dollar Tree. You can find these during the Christmas season. I removed the potted part, and then I'm just going to hot glue it in the center as well as these two red picks. Now it's time to add the belt. So I'm just going to open up a little bit of the bristles where the belt's going to go, wrap it around to the back, hot glue it, and you just want to tug just a little bit, not too much, but enough so that the belt don't fall. And then we're just going to fluff up those bristles right around the belt, making it look nice and pretty. I have this Santa hat that was already here at home, but Dollar Tree does carry Santa hats during the Christmas season, and I'm just going to place it on the top on a tilted motion. And look how cute this looks. And it's actually a really good size. I love this one. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take two more of the wreaths. Same thing, right? We're just going to fluff them up, and then we are going to actually, instead of putting one on top of each other, we're going to put the small one inside of the other one. That way, it's going to give me a thicker and fuller wreath. Now, we want to join these two wreaths so they're not coming apart. So I'm just going to grab a bristle from one side and the other and just twist them together. I'm going to do that 4 times, one on each side. That way, it's going to look natural and we don't have to add any ribbon or ties to it. Then we're just going to start fluffing the wreath as if it was one wreath. Just start fluffing as needed. Now, these cute little reindeers are currently at Dollar Tree, and they come in a green and a red, kind of buffalo check style, and I thought it was gorgeous. So I'm going to take the red one. I'm going to slide right there in between both of the wreath, snuggle it in there, and then pull some of the bristles from the inside to the front. Then I'm going to take 2 of those garland ties from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to place it and tie it around to secure the reindeer in place. And this is just going to look seamless and not going to look like it was added afterwards. I'm going to take some of this burlap ribbon. This is from Dollar Tree. They carry these pretty much year round, and I'm going to make a very simple bow. It may not look simple, but it really is. I'm just going to cut into 10-inch pieces. Now, looking back, I wish I would have done 12-inch or even 15-inch, so keep that in mind. I'm going to line it up nice and straight on each end and just cut it off in a dovetail kind of shape. Then I'm going to place an open one, and then a looped one, and a looped one. then another open one, and repeat as needed. So I'm just going to fold it and then face the loop to one side, take the other one, fold it, and place the loop on the other side, and then place an open one and just keep doing that. Then I'm going to squish it in the middle and take some white jute string and just going to tie it just like you would any other bow. And then you just want to fluff the bow just like you would, again, any other bow, and just fluff in every direction. Once it was nice and fluffed, I am going to then tie it around the base of the reindeer. Friends, if you have not joined my email list, I would love for you to consider doing so. I have the link down in the description box. I email once a week with any new news from my channel as well as current uploads. So if you want to check it out, it is linked down below. All right, so now that it's securely in there, we're going to take some more of those red pigs that are beautiful from Dollar Tree. And we're just going to place one on each side with some hot glue. And now I'm going to take the leftover ribbon. This is just one I had left over, a little piece. I'm just going to tie it around the top, and this is how we can hang the wreath. Now I wanted to light this wreath up. Now you can leave it just as is, but these battery operated lights you can find at Dollar Tree. Currently, as a matter of fact, I did a whole video of different ways that you can use these lights, and I just had one left over, so I figured why not? So I just placed it on the wreath, and look how gorgeous this looks. And the best part is that it's gonna look stunning at night. What do you think? For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take another one of those wreaths. This is the 18-inch one. Again, remove the tag, and again, we got to fluff. There was a lot of fluffing, and I got to tell you something. There were not a lot of bristles falling off of this one. I was pretty impressed. All right, so we did fluff just 2/3 of the wreath and then flatten out the top portion of it. We're going to cover it up with this beautiful red and golden tone ribbon from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to wrap it around from one end to the other, again leaving about 2/3 exposed. Once it was wrapped and securely in place with some hot glue, we're going to start placing greenery on the top. I'm just going to slide it in between the ribbon with some hot glue, one facing one way and the other one the other way. And by the way, I do get these on Amazon, and you get a whole bunch for a low price. So I really highly suggest you check it out. And it is in my Amazon store. Okay, so these vase fillers you can find at Christmas time pretty much every year. And they come in 3 different sizes, large, medium, and small. And I'm going to start with the larger ones. I'm going to start placing the golden ones towards the center, so on the core of the wreath. And then I moved on to the red one. I'm just going to spread them out kind of here and there, keeping a nice separated look. And then move on to the medium-sized ones. And these we're going to glue to the tips of the bristles. This is just going to add color and fullness and just really make that poinsettia and that ribbon pop with the golden and red tones. This one is absolutely classic. I love it. It is so simple, so easy to make, but what a beautiful wreath. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft for Christmas, I'm going to take one of these foam wreath forms from Dollar Tree. Okay, so you can find these pretty much year-round, and I always keep a couple handy in my craft room. I'm going to take this beautiful plaid style ribbon, also from Dollar Tree, and wrap it all the way around the ring. We're just going to create a very simple but quite bright, hint, hint, wreath with this one. All right, so once it's completely covered, we're going to hot glue it and secure it in place. And we're going to take this frosted pig. I honestly don't remember where I got this one from. It's been with me for a long time. And I'm just going to separate the different pigs from it. I'm going to poke holes with a screwdriver through the ribbon and through the foam. In that way, we have a nice little hole where we can add a little hot glue and place the pigs right in there. This worked perfectly. Highly suggest this technique. So I did the same thing with every single part of it, and I thought I'd add a couple of the green ones as well, just to add a little dimension. All right, so here's a fun part. I found these laid up trees at Dollar Tree last year, and I had this one left over. It lights up green, which is beautiful. It's battery operated, so I tied it to the top of the ring, and then I'm going to hot glue the ends at the bottom for a secure hold. Then I'm going to take some more ribbon, cut up open halfway, just like you see there. And that way we can spread it through each side of the tree and hot glue it in the back. And this is how we can hang it. I'm going to add a couple of these tiny little picks that I do get on Amazon right on each side, and look how gorgeous. Now you can add something to the top of the tree. I just thought it was perfect like this. What do you think? With colder days ahead, Dollar Tree is all stocked up with their winter hats and winter scarves. And today I brought home several styles, and we're going to make some very cute crafts with them. I'm going to start with these blue tones as well as this foam wreath form. You can find these at Dollar Tree year round. I'm going to remove the sticker from it, and we are going to wrap both of these scarves simultaneously. We're going to put them right next to each other, and we're going to find the center of the scarf, and we're going to start wrapping it. Now, don't worry about it being super tight right now. It's all about covering up, making sure that the colors alternate from one to the other. Once you have them wrapped up, both ends of the scarf should meet at the bottom. Then you can start tightening up to make sure that it's not going to slide down. Once you have it tightened at the bottom, take a zip tie and just tighten it really tightly. Of course, you want to cut off the excess zip tie, and then we're going to bring in some greenery picks from Dollar Tree. These have a little bit of a frost look to it, which I think will look great with the style of the scarves. I'm going to use a small screwdriver just to poke holes through the scarves as well as the foam. That way, each pick is going to go in nice and smooth. I did add some hot glue, so they're not going to go anywhere. I added greenery picks to the sides, the top, as well as the bottom. Once everything was where it needed to be and arranged where I wanted it, I'm going to take one of these snowflake arrangements from Dollar Tree. We're just going to use one of them, but I just thought it were very cute. So I'm going to use my wire cutter, cut one of them off, add hot glue to the back, and place it right in the center of the arrangement, just like that. Then I'm going to grab one of these snowballs from Dollar Tree. You can find these in a pack. I'm just going to hot glue it right to the center to cover up that little hole, as well as add a couple of them here and there to the sides and to the bottom just to add a little bit more of that white tone. And we're just about done. What an easy DIY craft you can make. Perfect for Christmas as well as winter. What do you think of this one? It's definitely one of my favorites. Love the colors. Let me know down below. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take several of these foam balls. You can find it in the floral section or the crafting section at Dollar Tree. I'm going to open them up, and we're just going to use 3 of them, but you can use as many as you want. I'm going to take one of those little screwdrivers again, poke a hole through the top, take the end of my jute string, add some hot glue to the hole, and then just start pushing it in with the screwdriver. Just take your time. This is just so that it's inside and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to then leave about maybe 24 inches of string, give or take, and I'll do the same thing to the other 2 balls. I am now going to take this beautiful scarf from Dollar Tree. We're going to open it up. We're going to cut off one of the ends, and then we are going to cut in about, I would say about 10 to 12 inches, and we are going to wrap each ball with this. So we're going to place it right in the center and just bring in all the corners and all the sides, making sure that the jute string remains in the center of the arrangement on top. Grab more jute string and tie it around very tightly, and then cut off any excess jute string. I did the same thing with the second ball, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the third ball, except it's going to be with a red scarf. We are almost done wrapping this one up, and I am going to take some greenery picks that I get on Amazon. These are nice and small, perfect for this size, but you can use anything you have at home, even the ones from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put one on each one, and then one smaller, kind of like a medium-sized pine cone right on the opposite side. They're all going to complement each other and look very nicely together. Now we're going to start arranging them so that one's taller than the other one. Once I have it where I want it, I'm just going to make a knot in the jute string. I'm going to make a small little arrangement for the top, a couple of greenery picks from Amazon, these berries from Dollar Tree. We're going to wrap them up with some jute string from Dollar Tree, tie it in a knot. We're going to hot glue it to the top of the knot of the arrangement. This is just going to make it like a little bit of a swag for the entire thing. And I got to tell you, this one's one of my favorites too. I did loop the top just to be able to hang it, but look how gorgeous this is. And you can use any combination colors you want. What do you think of this one? Let me know. This next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take the remaining scarf from the previous project and I am going to cut off the other end. Then we are going to kind of fold it in half. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but as close as possible. Then we're going to take my sewing machine and we're going to sew one end, leaving about 6 to 7 inches, and then all the way down to the other end, but leave the other end open. We're going to take some rice. You can find this little pack at Dollar Tree, and that's exactly what I used for this one. We're going to open up one small corner and we're just going to start pouring in the rice until the entire thing is in there. And good luck not making a mess. All right, once the entire bag of rice is inside, you want to kind of set it on the table and just kind of let it be a little bit on the loose side. Doesn't have to be tight and packed. Just let it be loose. Find about where you want to sew and just finish it off on the other end, just like that. Now, I do want to tie this end very nicely with some ribbon. Use any ribbon you have. I had this leftover. It's red ribbon with little pom-poms from Walmart, and I'm just going to tie it with a simple knot on each end. And that's it, my friends. I am going to cut, though, the other end to match the size of the other side. We're going to make it about 6 inches long. That way they both match. And look how beautiful this is. What a great gift. You can put this in the microwave, nice and safe, warm it up, put it around your neck, and get warmed up on those cold winter nights. What do you think of this one? Let me know. Next time you're at Dollar Tree, make sure to grab a couple of these craft rolls. You can find at Dollar Tree year-round, but during Christmas, I love wrapping my gifts with them. They can create beautiful high-end style, and I'm going to show you a few ideas. For this first one, I am going to take a piece of craft paper that's just going to fit the size of the gift. So this will all depend on what kind of size gifts you have. It does have that curl when you first get it, so I'm just going to roll it on the opposite direction. That way it'll flatten out for me just a bit. I am now going to take a black marker and I'm just going to start making wiggly lines. Some of the loops are going to face down, some of the loops are going to face up, and I'm going to do that all the way from the bottom of the paper to the top. I'm going to create my own Christmas light wrapping paper, and I cannot wait to show you how cute this looks. After I have the lines all set, I'm going to start making little like squares, kind of leaving about maybe 1.5 inches in between each, and I'll do that on all the lines. Then I'm going to bring in 4 different color markers. Now you can do any color combination you want. I decided to keep it pretty festive, and I'm just going to do yellow, blue, red, and green. I'm going to start adding what will look like light bulbs on each little square that I drew. And I'm going to keep the same pattern for all of them. So just keep the markers in the same pattern so they kind of match, but make sure to start each line with a different color, and that way they'll alternate just a little bit. And I did that on all 4 lines. Isn't this looking so adorable? Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to show you what it looks like all wrapped up. So I'm going to take this book that I have. It's not a gift. It's just one I had, but I figured let me show you what it looks like all wrapped up. I'm going to use double-sided tape, and you're going to see me use a combination of double-sided tape and regular tape. It just depends if it works or not. So I'm just going to wrap it up very simply, but look how cute the wrapping paper actually looks. And again, you can make these little tiny lights or make them even bigger. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just going to finish it off now. Because it is a craft paper, you can just write right on the paper to and from, or you can add a bow, you can add a tag, whatever you want. I think it's so beautiful, so creative. What do you think? Would you give this one a try? Let me know down in the comments. For the next Dollar Tree hack, I'm going to take regular wrapping paper. This one's from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take a piece that's going to fit the box that I'm going to use to show you. Now, I'm going to wrap only half of the box, or maybe a little bit more than half. It's up to you. I'm just going to tape it again using some double-sided tape and some regular tape. And remember, you can use any wrapping paper you have. So I'm just going to wrap this one half with this one, and then we're going to use the brown craft paper for the other half. the key is that we're going to fold it into kind of like a triangle. And then we're going to just wrap the bottom half at an angle. Now just keep pulling and tugging until you see that that craft paper covers the entire bare area, and just tape it in place. For the other side, just kind of fold where you need to fold and then wrap it on the other side. It's really easy. And then just cut off anything you need to cut off and wrap the other end like you did the other one. That simple. This is just going to give it a nice modern contrast to this wrapping. You can add a gift card to the slit, or you can even add a card in there. I think it's so cute. I'm going to take some of this raffia ribbon. I'm just going to loop it around my finger several times, scrunch it in the middle, tie it with more raffia, and then we're just going to fluff it up as needed and hot glue it right where both wrapping papers meet. Now, you can skip this part if you're going to add a gift card or anything in that slit, or maybe add it closer to the bottom. It's up to you. I added a little pick because I thought it looks super cute, but look how adorable this is. Again, you can use any combination of wrapping paper you want. It's up to you. Let me know what you think. For the next Dollar Tree hack, I am going to take more craft paper and we're going to cut another piece. Now, here's the same book. You're going to see multiples of the same ones. We're going to wrap it again, very simple, securing the edges as needed. We're going to give this one a very high-end, a very farmhouse, I don't know, elegant look. I'm going to take this burlap lacy ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut a piece that would fit around the book long ways. I'm just going to flip it to its back and then we are going to hot glue it, but you can tape it too. I found that hot glue works really well for ribbon. And then I'm going to flip it to the front side once again. Now you can use garland ties from Dollar Tree, but I found this one at Walmart and it was fuller and bigger. So I'm going to use this one, but go ahead and use the one from Dollar Tree if you have that. I'm going to loop it into a circle to create what will look like a mini wreath. And then we're just going to hot glue it directly in the center of the gift. Now you can make these wreaths even larger if you connect two of these, if you have an even larger gift. It's up to you. Now I'm going to take this beautiful Merry Christmas ribbon. I actually got this one at Dollar General. I'm going to make a very simple bow, loop it like an awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle, tie it in the center, and then we're going to hot glue it to the top of the wreath. And then we're going to add a small little red berry just to keep it simple but festive. But again, remember, you can add whatever you want to this wreath. You can add different ribbon, more color, whatever you want. I love the simplicity of this one. It's one of my favorites actually, but I would love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. For the next Dollar Tree hack, I'm going to take another piece of craft paper and we're going to wrap a smaller box. This would be perfect for smaller gifts, but you can actually make it larger if you want. Once again, we're just going to wrap it very simply using double-sided tape and regular tape. I am then going to grab another piece of craft paper. This is just about maybe 13 inches long, but just grab it whatever size you need. And we're just going to start cutting it into strips. The strips are about 1/2 inch thick, give or take. Then we're going to take each little strip and we're going to find the center and we're going to curl it. So you want to take your scissors, open them up, and curl it in the same direction as the curl of the ribbon is already have, okay? So just do that to all the ones that you may need. I used about maybe 8 or 9 of them, maybe 10, give or take. All right, so now we're going to take each curl and we're just going to kind of pull it a little bit towards one side. Very carefully, we don't want to rip it, but you want to do this so that they curl not into each other, but towards the bottom. So now we're going to place them, crisscrossing them, joining them in the center like what you would find on a ribbon bow at the store. And we're just going to staple it right in the center. You can staple it as many times as you need. Then we're going to hot glue it to the middle of the box. You can keep it like this. This looks super cute already, but I decided to add a red flower from Dollar Tree right in the center with some hot glue. Look how cute this looks. There's something about simplicity that I just absolutely love, and this one has my heart. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree hack, I am going to take another piece of craft paper, of course, and I am going to cut a piece that will fit the size that I need for the gift that I have. Now, I am going to start freehanding the phrase fa la 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 from the song, right? I'm just going to do it in cursive and I'm going to do it all the way from the top to the bottom, starting with a different letter. So it's either going to start with an F or an L. I just don't want it to look the same. Once I reach the bottom, I'm just going to start using it to wrap the gift. I'm just going to use, again, tape and keep it pretty simple. And then I'm going to take two different greeneries. One is from Amazon and the other one is from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to join them on the top using some jute string. I'm just going to wrap it around a few times, secure it with some hot glue, cut off the excess picks from the top, add more jute string, just wrap it around, tie it in a knot, and then we're going to wrap this around the gift towards the top. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to tie it in the bag in a simple knot. But because it kind of slides up and down, I did decide to hot glue the arrangement in the front. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I decided to do that. Now you can add anything else you want. But again, I love simplicity. And look how cute this looks. It looks very custom, very chic. And I just absolutely love the look. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree hack, I'm going to take another piece of the brown craft paper and I am going to cut it in the size that I need according to the size of the gift I have. I'm going to fold it and cut as needed. We're going to create a gift bag using this craft paper. So once I had it cut, I'm just going to kind of fold it over each other. We're going to tape those ends together. Very easy. Then we are going to take to the bottom. Now, depending on how big the gift will depend on how thick you want to fold this. Mine, it's a little bit on the thicker side, so I'm going to take 3 inches and I'm just going to fold it at the bottom. Just one fold is sufficient. Then I'm going to take the ends and I'm going to fold them inwards just like you see here. The same thing on the other side. I am now going to fold both ends inwards, making sure that I am overlapping that middle line for about maybe ½ inch. I'm going to do that on both sides and then I'm going to tape it in place. This is going to give me a very nice size for the gift that I have. But remember, you can do any size you want, even smaller ones. I'm going to open it up and now we have a nice, beautiful gift bag. I am going to place, this is some pajamas for my daughter. I'm going to fold them and you can add tissue paper. I didn't have one in hand, so I'm just going to place it right inside. And then once it's inside, we are going to fold the top. Now here you can get creative. You can scrunch it if you want. But I decided to just fold and then poke a couple of holes using my hole puncher. I'm going to bring in that raffia ribbon once again. I'm just going to thread it from the back to the front and I'm going to tie it in a very simple knot. Then I'm going to take another ribbon from Dollar Tree and I'm going to make a very simple bow and we're going to hot glue it to the front. Once again, I can't say this enough. You can use whatever combination ribbon you want. You can even add design to the bag, just like we did with the previous ones with adding the fa la 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 or the Christmas lights, whatever you want. These are just ideas that I share with you so that you can then customize it to whatever you want and whatever you need. But look how beautiful this is. Again, the simplicity is just so beautiful, so custom. What do you think of this one? Did you know that Dollar Tree has cardboard boxes? They do. They have a little shipping area, and these boxes are awesome for crafting. If you do not get a lot of shipping from different orders in your home, this is a great alternative, and you can buy them for $1.25. I'm going to show you how you open it. You just basically open up one of the sides, and it opens up pretty large. I have this blade knife that I got on Amazon, and it is in my Amazon store, and that's the one I'm going to use, and I love it. Okay, I'm going to start with the scrap pieces of cardboard because this was one of the last ones I did and I loved it so much I put it first. So that's why I have pieces of cardboard. I'm just going to cut whatever I have into triangle trees, different sizes, different widths, different lengths, okay? Then I'm going to put them on this piece of paper and I'm going to paint them using white chalk paint. You can use whatever color you want, but I'm not going to paint them completely. I'm just going to do different techniques, different styles. So I'm going to paint half of them on one, the other one a couple of stripes, just whatever your heart desires, okay? Then I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to do dots and stripes as I see fit, just to kind of give it a little bit of a more modern farmhouse look. Okay, so now that I have everything pretty much where I want it, I'm going to set it to the side, let it dry, and then we're going to take one of these 16 by 20 canvases from Dollar Tree. You can find them at Dollar Tree Plus, they come two in a pack. I'm going to line up the different trees, the taller and thicker ones towards the back, smaller and thinner ones towards the front, and just hot glue them in place. And I want to add some snow. So this is going to be very snowy, kind of Christmassy or winter-like snow. So I'm going to add faux snow all over the top of the trees. So on top of the canvas, right? So I'm just going to add Mod Podge pretty heavily and then just keep adding faux snow. Add more than what you think you need because we're going to dust it in a little bit. So I'm going to tap it down just a little bit just to make sure that Mod Podge really attaches to the snow. And then look at that. It's such a mess, but it's a happy mess. I'm just going to reuse the snow. Put it right back in that baggie. And look how stunning this looks. This is why I put it first, my friends. I love the look. It's so fresh, so minimalistic, but yet so magical. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take another one of those canvases and I'm going to flip it to its back, okay? Remember, they come two in a pack. So I'm going to measure, just kind of see how long and how wide it is on the inside of the frame. Then I'm going to take the cardboard and I am going to just cut several pieces that's going to give me enough to cover pretty much the inside surface of the canvas. I'm going to create little houses and I'm going to make them look different. I'm going to make them look pointy on top, flat on top, and I'm going to create some that are taller and some that are shorter. I freehanded with my pencil first. That way, if I make a mistake, I can always erase it. I did add little windows, and these are very important because we are going to light these up. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller, shorter homes so that we can put them in front of them. One thing I really want to recommend is really have a good high quality blade knife and very sharp. It just makes life easier cutting all of these cardboards. So just keep that in mind. All right, so you can start seeing things kind of evolve here. And again, we just want to create like a little village of houses. And we are going to cover them up. Now you can paint them if you want, whatever you want to cover them up, or you can leave them like this and make them look like gingerbread houses. Up to you. I'm going to use some craft paper. This is a craft paper that I got. I believe this one was at Michael's a long time ago. And I'm just going to cover the back houses in one style and the front homes in a different style, but they're going to complement each other. Then I'm going to use my blade knife and I'm just going to cut off the excess paper. I use Mod Podge to attach it, but you can use adhesive spray or even two-sided tape if you'd like. So I did the same thing with the smaller ones. And now we're going to bring in some of these LED lights that I do have in my Amazon store as well. I'm going to poke a hole on the canvas and we're going to thread them from the back to the front, which is basically from the front to the back. I'm going to hot glue the battery pack to the back and then we're going to tape the lights all around the windows using some masking tape from Dollar Tree. This is going to really make it look like the homes are lit up inside and you're going to see the effect here in just a minute. So just keep doing it around the windows the best as you can. And we're going to hot glue then the homes to the canvas right inside. So add a lot of hot glue, make it a little quick so it doesn't dry up on you, and then place them right on the canvas. Then we're going to do the same exact thing with the smaller homes. We're going to poke another hole on the other side of the canvas, hot glue the battery pack to the back, add the lights with masking tape around the windows, and then hot glue that set of homes on top of the larger homes. I want to give this village a snow-like village look, and I am going to cover the edges with this faux fur ribbon that I got at Walmart. You can use whatever you have on hand. You can use any other ribbon you want. I am going to use this one. I'm just going to hot glue thicker portions on the bottom and the top, For the side portions, I am going to cut the ribbon directly in half and hot glue them in place. I also want to Mod Podge more of that faux snow on top of the homes. This is going to give it a little bit of dimension and just a little bit of like a glittery magical look. So again, I'm just going to add Mod Podge to the top of the homes and then add faux snow as needed. To finish it off, I am going to hot glue 4 of these little greenery picks that I do get on Amazon, but you can use the ones from Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to do 4 of them towards the bottom of the homes, and I think it really brought everything together. I'm going to show you a picture with the lights off, and it looks so magical. I'd love to hear what you think of this one. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take another piece of the same cardboard and I'm going to make another tree. This time I'm going to freehand it with a little bit more of a curved look to it. Then I am going to cut it off using my blade knife. Then I'm going to use that first one and trace on top of another cardboard to have 2 of them that have this similar size and similar shape. And then I'm going to paint them. Now you can paint them any color you want. I decided to give it a look similar to the first craft, where it has whites and stripes and dots, that kind of look. So I'm going to do the same thing on these, and I'm going to do the front as well as the back of each. Making our Christmas memories. Now, I painted the base of a couple of them completely white and left the other like that. I changed my mind later on. I'll show you how I fixed it. I'm going to take one of them, just going to cut it directly in half, and then I'm going to hot glue it to each side of the other tree. This is going to create a 3D kind of tree, and it'll stand up nicely. Work a little fast when you add the hot glue because it'll harden on you, and of course, you'll have to take it off, and that's okay. But work a little fast, and it works really well. So here's where I decided to just go ahead and paint the base. It just didn't look finished to me. So I just grabbed a smaller brush and I just painted it completely white. And I think it really did the work. But look how cute this is. You can add anything you want. You can even add bells. You can add faux snow. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? I'm sure by now you have seen that Dollar Tree has tons of a Christmas ribbon, perfect for gift wrapping, decorating, and also crafting. I brought home several styles and we're going to start with these 2. Now, the one on the left with the burlap, that one you can find pretty much year round. I'm going to take the one that has the red and I'm going to cut 8-inch strips and I'm going to do exactly 5 of them. This is because we're going to create a ribbon poinsettia. I saw this on Pinterest and I thought, what a beautiful way to use a ribbon. And I thought, let me give it a try. So I'm going to cut 5 pieces of them, all equal size. Once I've had them cut, I am going to fold all of them directly in half. And I am going to cut the edges in a pointy style. So I'm just going to stack them one on top of each other. And then I'm going to fold and cut with my scissors. I'm going to do the same exact thing with the burlap ribbon. Remember, you can use any ribbon, any style, any color you want. I cut the burlap one in about 7-inch long. I'm going to do the same thing, fold them and cut so that I have pointy edges on both sides. Once I have them nicely cut, it is time to start putting everything together. I'm going to start with the red, larger strips. I am basically just going to scrunch them in the middle and I'm going to join them side to side. So not on top of each other, side to side. Then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and I am just going to wrap it in the center and tie it nicely tight. Then it's time to fluff. Now the key here, you just want to fluff kind of like almost like a star or a flower. You just basically want to do the sides, the top, and then make sure that it's nicely even on all the edges. I did the same exact thing with the burlap one. And now I am going to hot glue the burlap one right on top of the red one. This is going to create layers in just a beautiful design. Now I want to use these little berries that I already had on hand. You can find these at Dollar Tree or Walmart. And I'm just going to take them off of the stem and I'm going to hot glue them right in the center. Of course, it wouldn't be a poinsettia if it didn't have that center portion. So I'm going to add 3 of them. And then I decided to get some green ribbon. I thought it needs some leaves. So I'm going to cut these in about 10 inches long. So longer than the red ribbon, which we cut at 8 inches. I'm just going to do 2 of them though. Same thing. I'm going to stack them up, fold them in half, and cut the edges in a pointy style. This is going to end up being gorgeous. We're going to attach it to the back of the poinsettia. So I'm going to scrunch them side to side, tie them in the center with a pipe cleaner, and again, hot glue it to the back of the poinsettia. This is going to again give it that leaf kind of look, and I think it's absolutely stunning. Now you can add a stem to this, you can make multiples of these, whatever you want, but I think the end result is gorgeous. The possibilities are absolutely endless with designs and size. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I want to take 2 of these flat dolls that I get on Amazon. They're made from bamboo and they're very flexible. You get a whole ton for a very inexpensive price. At first, I thought I needed 2, but I ended up only using 1. Now I'm going to take some Dollar Tree ribbon. We're going to take multiple styles and colors, and I'm going to cut them in about 5-6 inches length. It doesn't matter. Then we're going to make 10 of these. Okay, so we're going to start with 10 of these, and I'm going to use a thinner style ribbon because it kind of goes best with what we're going to make. I'm going to take the doll and I am just going to set it flat on my table, and I'm just going to start hot gluing each ribbon one next to each other, leaving a very, very slight space in between each, but it's not needed. Just whatever you want to do is fine. So I'm going to do this all the way till all of the ribbon are attached. Then I'm going to start stacking up other styles of ribbon, cutting them in about the same size. Again, that does not matter because we're going to trim it up anyways. This one is a golden one. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to start hot gluing them here and there because I still want to see the design of the bottom ribbon. So just keep adding as needed. Each ribbon I cut less strips because again, I want to see the ribbon and I want to see all the layers of all the styles. Now that I have everything nicely secure, I'm going to then cut it in a tree shape. I'm going to use my ruler and I'm just going to start placing it, and then with my rotary cutter, just start cutting. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and this is going to give it a nice tree shape. I'm going to cut off the excess dowel and I'm going to leave about 3 inches, but it's up to you. I am now going to start hot gluing the ribbon kind of to each other so that way they're not flapping around. Just add a little bit of hot glue and it goes a long way. I'm going to add a golden belt to the top. I just thought it needed a little something up there, but if you have a star, go for it. Now I'm going to add some embellishments to the bottom base of the tree, and I'm going to start with these golden picks that you can find at Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut a couple of them in about similar size, and I'm just going to hot glue them one facing to each side. The same with these greenery picks, again from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add a couple of golden ones kind of more towards the top. This is just going to add a little bit more embellishments and add a little bit of character and texture. I'm going to finish it off just to add a little bit of pop of red of these red berries from Dollar Tree. And look how gorgeous this is. And again, you can use any ribbon, any style you want. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? Let me know down in the comments. For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take some of this burlap ribbon. This one is actually from burlapfabric.com. And then I'm going to take this beautiful red one from Dollar Tree. It has a very sheer look and is glittery. I'm going to cut 2 pieces. One is 24 inches and the other one is 12 inches. I'm going to stack the red one on top of the burlap on both strips. I'm also going to take a red glittery metallic pipe cleaner and cut it in half. We're going to start with the longer strip of ribbon and we're going to fold it so that it overlaps like this in the end. Scrunch it in the middle and then tie it with a pipe cleaner. Okay, we're going to tie it kind of tight as much as you can. Okay, then once it's tied, we're going to fold it in half, just like you're going to see here, just like that. Make sure that the pipe cleaners are exposed at the top. Same thing with the little one. We're going to fold and overlap the ends, scrunch it in the middle, tie it with a pipe cleaner, and then we are going to place the small one inside of the larger one. So just make sure it's nicely tight. Now this one we're not going to fold. We're going to keep it just like this. So open up the large one, place the small one, and then make sure that the pipe cleaner from the small one wraps around the large one so that you can tie it on top and it brings everything together. I'm going to hot glue a little bit of the top just to make sure that it snuggles in towards the center of what it looks like a bow, but we're actually making a cute little angel ornament. I'm going to twist the pipe cleaners as best as I can, cut off the excess, and then I'm going to take this little Christmas ball. You can find these at Dollar Tree. You can use any color combinations you want. I'm going to remove the top portion, remove completely the top portion, and hot glue it to the top. This is going to be the head of the angel. Now let's give the angel a nice halo. I'm going to take a silver pipe cleaner, roll it around several times, tying it securely. Just make sure that it's large enough to look nice, but not too large where it's going to fall right through the head. So let's keep it nice and tight on the top with some hot glue. Now we're going to take another pipe cleaner, just fold it in half, twist the ends, and this is what we're going to use to hang the ornament. We're just going to hot glue it to the back, and that's it. This angel is so adorable. Again, you can use any color ribbon you want, any color combination you want. I think it's gorgeous and I love it. One of my favorites from today. But what do you think? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to start with one of these Dollar Tree wood planks. I craft with these all the time. I love using them. I'm going to cut off the jute string and I'm going to give it a fresh coat of white paint. This is Waverly chalk paint in the white, and I'm just going to do one coat and let it dry. Once dry, I am going to sand it down. I don't know what it is about these boards that once you stain them or paint them, they get really rough to the touch. So I'm just going to lightly sand just to smooth it out. And then, of course, we want to wipe it well and remove any dust. We're going to take this beautiful ribbon. Now, this one is from Walmart. It's a 3-feet one, and it has a kind of like little tassels or little pom-poms hanging from it. It's so cute. We're going to start at the top and we're going to start zigzagging all the way down, hot gluing in each end. We're going to create a nice, long, slim Christmas tree. Now, if you don't have a ribbon like this, don't worry. You can use any ribbon you want. I highly suggest a thinner one because that way it'll be easier to manage. So I'm going to keep hot gluing and taking it all the way to the bottom. Now, the key is to make the next line a little wider than the one on top. And that way it gives it that nice shape of a tree. I'm going to take these golden bells from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to hot glue a few here and there and then a red one right on top. We're going to keep this simple, but that's up to you. You can add whatever you want to this tree. It is festive, it is fun, and this would be a great one to do with friends or even kids. I love the way this one turned out, but what do you think? Let's head to Dollar Tree and find vinyl that we can make some beautiful DIY crafts for Christmas. Dollar Tree has stepped up their game in their vinyl styles, and I had this one left over that has a buffalo check style. I trimmed it off, and then I'm going to find a galvanized item. Now, Dollar Tree has many of these galvanized forms. I recently found this one. It has like a pie kind of shape. It also can maybe look like a Coke bottle. I don't know, doesn't it? Like the cap. Anyways, I'm going to place the vinyl right in the middle, kind of a little bit more towards the bottom. I'm going to use my nails to kind of press it to the edge and then use my X-Acto knife to remove the excess vinyl. For these projects today, we are going to make beautiful crafts and not need a cutting machine. Now, if you have a cutting machine, use it absolutely. If you do not, I have tons of inspiration for you. All right, I'm going to grab some red vinyl again from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off a piece. I'm going to roll it in an opposite direction just to kind of remove some of that curve it had. And then we're going to take this little pot. It's just from the Dollar Tree Summer Selection. I'm going to trace the larger part first and then the thinner part in the center to create the letter O. Then I'm going to freehand using my ruler and a pencil the letter J. It is important that you do things on the opposite direction. So for the letters that are applicable, like the J, I had to do it backwards so that when we cut it on the opposite side where the vinyl is, it'll look the way it should. Once I had the word joy nicely traced, I am going to use my X-Acto knife and just trimmed off all the excess until I have the word nicely cut. And then we're just going to remove the backing and make it work like a sticker. Really easy. You remove the back and then you just place it wherever you want to place it. I want to add some embellishments to the top of this piece. So I'm going to take Dollar Tree's foam cutter and some foam, and I'm just going to cut off a piece and hot glue it to the top. I'm going to add some greenery. These are actually from Amazon, but you can use whatever you have on hand, especially those from Dollar Tree. I'm going to add a couple more here from Dollar Tree with some red berries, as well as a pine cone right in the center. This is going to bring everything together, add texture, and I can't believe how gorgeous this is. This will make a great gift, and can you believe we did not use a cutting machine? I love the way this one turned out. Let me know what you think. For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, we're going to take this little cutting board. These you can find at Dollar Tree. They have them in round shape as well as square shape. I'm also going to take this printout that I printed using my printer. It is the scene of the nativity, and I'm just going to cut off the excess paper around it. I'm going to bring in this beautiful vinyl. It's a glittery black. Yes, it's from Dollar Tree, and it is gorgeous. They have several colors. This one I thought would be great for this project. I'm going to use some carbon paper that you can find pretty much in every crafting store. I do get mine on Amazon. And by the way, if I say that I got anything on Amazon, chances are it is in my Amazon store. And I always have it linked down below in the description box. So check it out when you are done watching. The carbon paper also brought this little tool that you can trace. So all I did was place the carbon paper in between the printout and the vinyl. And I have the vinyl backwards, so facing back, because I want to see that black trace. So there it is. I traced it all the way around. And now I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and again cut off all the excess pieces. And now again, we're just going to use them as stickers. Remove the backing and place each shape wherever you want them. Now I want this piece to be able to stand, so I'm going to take this piece of scrap 1x3. I've been using these for projects recently, and I'm going to take this little piece of, it's like a square dowel. I'm going to cut off two pieces that are the same length as my piece of scrap wood. I couldn't use my miter saw because it was inaccessible, so I'm just going to use my miter box, cut off a couple of pieces, and then sand down the edges for a smooth finish. Then I am going to place them right where I want it. I'm going to open up in the middle, leaving just a little bit wider than what the actual glass is. I'm going to pre-drill a couple of holes on each end of each piece, and then I'm going to paint the inside because that way it's easier to apply. And then we are just going to screw in those pieces onto the larger piece. Once everything's attached, I am just going to paint everything white. And let me show you how it looks. Doesn't that look so pretty? It's perfect. All right, I'm going to add some embellishments, although you can leave it as is. I'm going to add some greenery, combination of Dollar Tree as well as Amazon greenery picks. This beautiful poinsettia right in the center. And I'm going to add some LED lights. I just thought it called for it. I'm going to drill a couple of other screws in the back of the piece, so on each end. And now I'm going to just keep rolling around the wired LED lights until it is completely attached and then hot glue the battery pack to the back. This is going to give it a magical touch, especially at night. Look how gorgeous this is. And wait until you see it in a darker room. Definitely one of my favorites. What do you think of this one? Tree has many ornaments that you can use for this project. However, I'm going to use these that I found on Amazon. They come 109 pack, so inexpensive and a lot of big bang for your buck. So if you want to check them out, I do have them on my Amazon store as well. I'm going to paint the top of these in this beautiful farmhouse red by Rust-Oleum. I did place a little bit of tape to make sure that I stay nice and crisp. And I'm going to leave the rest of the ornament in the bare natural wood. But you can do whatever you want and you can paint them if you'd like. I'm going to take these letters that they were gifted to me recently. And I'm just going to trace the word peace. And again, I'm going to trace them on this beautiful vinyl, but I'm going to trace them backwards. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then I'm just going to cut off all the excess vinyl to reveal the letters. And once again, we're just going to remove the back like a sticker and place one letter in each ornament. I want this ornament set to be either an ornament or something that you can place somewhere like hanging. So I want them to look similar but a little bit different. I'm just going to add greenery and red berries in different position, different angles. That way it just looks again similar but just a little bit different. Now I want to be able to hang these if I want. So I'm going to take this striped ribbon that I got at Walmart and I'm just going to cut it into thinner strips so that it's easier to thread through the little hole. Cut it in half and then I'm just going to thread it and just tie them in a very simple knot. But you can add a bow or whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to these. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The fact that we didn't use a cutting machine is absolutely crazy. What do you think of this one? Next time you're at Dollar Tree, head on to the glassware aisle. You can find these super large jars that are absolutely gorgeous for just $1.25. I grabbed a couple and I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to remove the lid and then we're going to grab some vinyl from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has an entire selection of vinyl that you can use for crafts, and this one is one that I already had on hand. I'm going to cut off a piece that's going to kind of match the size that I need. I'm going to roll it up on the opposite direction to remove a little bit of the curve that it had. Once it was nicely straight, I'm going to take my ruler, just make a line. It's about a ½ inch thick. And then I'm going to start freehanding some Christmas tree, just some regular evergreens. And I'm going to go all across the vinyl on the back side. Once I had them traced, I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and start cutting the excess vinyl. I want to reveal each tree. Originally, I wanted them to be and stay attached to each other. However, I changed my mind, so I did have to separate them in a few. Okay, so we are just about done with the vinyl cutting. Then I am just going to start applying it to the jar. The key is you just want to start applying them little by little, and that's why I decided to remove each tree from each other. It was just not working out. I'm going to start applying them one at a time from the bottom up. I'm just going to go all the way around. I made sure that they were nicely attached, and then I'm going to take this frosted glass spray from Rust-Oleum. You can find these at the hardware store and I believe Walmart as well. Oh, and Amazon also. I'm going to take it outside. I'm just going to start spraying it. I gave it a couple of coats just to make it nice and frosted. You can also etch this with some etched ink cream. However, frosting it was so much easier. I'm going to remove each tree separately and then reveal the nice design. And I love this jar. It has such a high-end look. And it was $1.25. Come on, friends. Look how pretty that looks. All right, I'm going to wipe the inside because I left a few smudges with my fingers. Then I'm going to take these little LED lights. These I get on Amazon. You can use the one from Dollar Tree, but I get these on Amazon, and a lot of times you get a lot more bang for your buck. They're battery operated, and you just have to take off that little clear tab, turn them on, and they look beautiful. I'm going to open them up, and then I'm just going to start placing them inside the jar. But before we do that, I want to add some tuck tape. This tape is actually from Dollar Tree. I'm going to just tape it to the back of the battery pack, and I'm going to place it on the inside of the lid. This is going to keep it nice in place, and that way you're not going to be able to see the battery pack inside the jar. Now I'm just going to place all the little fairy LED lights right inside the jar. You can also use 2 sets of lights if you'd like. I'm going to place the lid right back on top. Then I decided to add a little bit more of embellishments on top of the lid. I'm going to cut off a piece of foam from a Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue it right on top. Then we're going to start taking some picks. These greenery picks I can find at Dollar Tree. During the Christmas season, they have a little bit of a frosted look. I'm going to push all the bristles to the top and then cut off, and then I'm just going to hot glue them in place all around the foam. Now, there were some bare spots in between each. I will cover that up in a little bit with some picks that I got on Amazon. Then right on top, I decided to add a bright red large poinsettia, but you can add whatever you want. I'm going to hot glue it in place, and then I'm going to start adding those smaller picks. And once it was completely covered, I gotta tell you, this one is absolutely magical. It is so beautiful. I love the trees. I love that it's lighted, and you can even fill it up with anything you want. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take another one of those jars, and I'm going to paint the lid red. First, I'm going to scuff it up just a little bit to remove a little bit of the sheen. I'm going to use a very light sandpaper, and then I'm going to wipe it well to remove any dust. I'm going to use red paint. Now, if you have a red spray paint, I highly suggest you use that instead. But I didn't have one that worked well, so I'm just going to paint it with this Rust-Oleum Farmhouse red paint. I'm going to put that to the side, let it dry, and I'm going to take some burlap ribbon. This is from burlapfabric.com. I'm just going to wrap it around the jar. I'm going to hot glue it in place, cut off the excess. I'm going to add different types of ribbon to this jar. I want to make it very layered. So the next one's going to be very glittery, and it's from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off a piece and again do the same thing. Just keep adding different layers of ribbon to add a lot of texture. The third layer is actually going to be drop cloth. Have you ever worked with drop cloth? I love it. When you tear drop cloth, it creates this frayed look that I really love. So I'm going to cut off a piece that's about maybe 2 inches wide, and then I am going to hot glue it on top of the glittery ribbon. The key with drop cloth is that it is going to be frayed. It's going to look messy, and if you don't like that look, then don't use drop cloth. I like it. I'm going to clean it off just ever so lightly, and then I'm going to hot glue it in place. For the last layer of ribbon, I want to take this Teaking Stripe red and white ribbon. It's from Walmart. It's kind of thick. I contemplated cutting it, but then I thought, let me just fold it into 3s, and that really worked. So I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm going to wrap it around the jar, hot gluing where I need it so it stays in place. I'm going to finish up adding this last layer and last ribbon. I do want to add some embellishments to the front, and we're going to add it right where all of the seams are for the ribbon. That way it's going to cover it up and no one will know. I'm going to add this pick. It's from Amazon, and then just a combination of different from Dollar Tree and Amazon, just adding as I need, but use what you have at home as long as it goes well and it just looks nice and festive. Then right in the middle, I'm going to add a little pine cone. Now the lid is nice and dry. I'm just going to seal everything with a top coat. This is a Krylon clear top coat. It is very shiny. I'm going to put the lid back on, and look how gorgeous this is. You can add lights, you can add a candle, you can add candy, whatever you want. What do you think of this one? Let me know down in the comments. Another one of those pages from the craft book, and I'm going to cut off a piece that looks just so beautiful, and it matches the size of the dowels. Once I had it cut to size, I'm going to hot glue one dowel to the top and one to the bottom. We're going to create what will look like maybe like a mini scroll, but it's going to be an ornament. Once I had both dowels attached, I'm going to add some rope. This is just rope I had on hand from a leftover shelving from Dollar Tree. I'm going to knot it on each side, cut off the excess rope, and then I wanted to add a little bit of embellishments. Of course, I'm like the embellishment queen. And I'm just going to add a couple little small pieces from Dollar Tree to the right upper corner. I don't want to cover too much of the design. And then I'm going to add a little bell. I just thought it was appropriate. It's a little bit of a music sheet. And I just thought, why not? I'm going to keep it nice and neutral, but look how gorgeous this is. You can make multiples of these. You can use whatever design you have. What do you think of this one? Let me know. Have you ever crafted with doilies? Yes, that's right. Doilies at Dollar Tree have these in stock pretty much year round. And I'm going to show you what I did with them for Christmas. I'm going to open these up and I'm just going to show you how beautiful they are. They come 32 in a pack for $1.25. I think they are gorgeous. Here's the thing. I got another pack on Amazon for about $4 with 36 of them. And I kind of like what they look like on the edges more than the Dollar Tree ones. So I'm just going to craft with the ones with Amazon. You can see the comparison here. However, every craft I'm making, you can make with the ones from Dollar Tree. All right, so I'm going to start with 3 of the smaller ones. Then I'm going to grab 3 of the medium-sized ones and 3 of the large ones. We're going to create a beautiful 3D Christmas tree you are going to love. This was a Pinterest-inspired one. I'm going to take the smaller one first, and we're going to cut off 1/4 of it. So just cut off almost like if you were cutting a pie and you just want to cut 1/4 of it. Once you have it cut, we are going to fold it into a cone. Here's the key, and I'm going to go slow for you. You just want to make sure that you do a cone, but that you line up the bottom portion of it. If you use the Dollar Tree ones, it may be a little easier. I'm going to use some double-sided tape, and then once I create the cone, it'll stick to each other, and it's perfect. I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 small ones, and then move on to the medium, and then move on to the large one, doing the same exact steps. And we're just about done creating the cones. And now that we have a total of 9 of them, we are going to put to the side the scraps because we're going to use that on another craft. I'm going to take a wood slice and I'm going to drill a hole right in the center so that I can hot glue a bamboo skewer stick. Just hold this stick until it hardens, so make sure it's nice and straight. Now we're going to start with the large cone. So remember, we have 3 of each. I'm going to slide it through the top all the way to the bottom, leaving about 1 inch from the bottom. Then I'm going to do the second large one, then the third large one, and then I'm going to move on to the medium ones and the small ones. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in between each. That way they're going to hold in place and not fall on me. All right, so now we have the tree nicely made. We're going to take a couple of ribbons. This one's a lacy ribbon you can find at Dollar Tree. And then this one is a sticking stripe ribbon that I actually got, I believe it was Amazon. And I'm going to cut off a piece that is a little smaller. I'm going to stack the ribbons right on top of each other. And I'm just going to make a very simple bow. I'm going to loop it like an awareness loop. And then I am going to tie it in the center with some extra ribbon. Hot glue it to the top of the tree, cut off any excess ribbon, and cut off the excess bamboo stick. And that's it. What a gorgeous, refreshing, magical tree. Love this for Christmas. You can even make multiples of them in different heights. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take some green Waverly chalk paint as well as some white one. This is the white and the moss tone. I'm going to take those pieces of scrap doilies from the previous project, and I am going to start painting starting with the large one. Now, the large one here, the first one is going to be the original moss green color. I'm not lightening it up. But I want this tree, because we're creating a tree, to have an ombre kind of faded look. So I'm just in between each doily, I'm going to add a little bit of white paint, lightening it up as I go. So each doily is going to be a little lighter than the next, just like you see here. And I'm going to keep doing that until I reach all the doilies, again starting from the darkest, from the largest, to the lightest, to the smallest. And you're going to see how stunning this looks. All right. Now, Dollar Tree carries these wood planks year round, and these are their larger kind. I'm going to grab one of them. remove the jute string, and I'm just going to lightly sand it for a smooth finish. Sometimes they tend to be a little rough, so we're just going to sand it, and then we're going to wipe it really well. I'm going to grab a glove, Waverly antiquing wax, and a wipe because we are going to stain the surface. You can stain it, you can paint it, you can do whatever you want. Once it was completely covered, I'm going to let it fully dry. And then I am going to sand it just a little bit. This is going to soften it again, lightly distress the edges, as well as lighten up the color just a little bit. I wiped it well, and now we're going to apply the doilies. Now they curled up on me just a little bit, so I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of very carefully, because I don't want to rip them, just kind of remove the curl. And it worked. I'm just going to hot glue it, and I'm just going to add hot glue to the top portion of it. I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches to 2 inches on the bottom, and I'm going to start hot gluing them all the way up. Again, going from the darkest to the lightest, which essentially is from the largest to the smallest. And I'm going to do that all the way to the top. So we are reaching the top here. So for the very top ones, I'm going to use a white one. This one's not one that was painted. I'm going to cut off some pieces that are going to be just a little smaller than the last one we hot glued. And I'm going to start adding them right on top. This is just going to finish that ombre faded look. And I'm going to do that all the way to the end, making sure that each piece is smaller than the previous one. Once I had it in place, I just cut off a little bit of the excess paper from the top, and that way it's going to be nice and even. I'm going to keep this one pretty simple, so I'm just going to make a few faux knots. Basically, I just take some nautical rope from Dollar Tree, make a couple of knots, remove the excess rope, hot glue it to each side. In this one, it's just basically on top of each hole. Once I have the faux knots there, I'm just going to add some more nautical rope to the back. This is going to make it look like it's hanging from the knots, but it's actually not. But look how stunning this looks. Such an easy craft, and you can use any colors you want. You can even add glitter to it. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take a small little doily and cut it in half. I'm going to take some more of that two-sided tape, and I'm going to start making cones once again. These are going to be a little smaller because we are going to cut them in half instead of 3/4. We are going to create 2 cones per each size of the doily. So we are going to do the small one first, and then again just line up those edges to make sure that the bottom really lines up. And then we're going to hot glue each size to each other. We're going to put it right inside with a little bit of hot glue and just wait until it hardens. This is going to create a cute little skirt leg. I did the same thing with the medium size and the large ones. Alright, so now we have 3 pieces that look nice and similar but different size. We're going to flatten out that top portion, just cutting off just a little bit of the top on all 3 of them. Now we're going to take another doily. We're going to start with the smaller one again, and we're just going to fold it in half and then fold it again. We're going to secure it in place again with the double-sided tape so it doesn't open up on us. And then I'm going to add a strip of tape right down the center from top to bottom. We're going to place it on the back. Now make sure you place the small doily to the small cone, and then so on and so forth. And I did the same thing with the medium one as well as the large one. We are creating beautiful angels. This was another Pinterest inspired, and I thought I can definitely recreate and add my own touch. I'm going to add some of these wooden beads right on top just to give the little angels a head. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue, add each bead on top. And then I just thought the neck needed to be a little cleaner because you can see the hot glue. I'm going to take some of this fluffy yarn. I'm going to add hot glue in between the neck and the head and just cover it up with the yarn. And I think it really works so well. We are going to keep these quite simple, but I do want to add a little halo. So I'm going to take this glittery silver pipe cleaner. I'm going to cut 3 inches off, make a little circle, twist it and tie it, add a little bit of hot glue and place it on top of each head. Oh my word, these are stunning. And you don't have to create three, you can create as many as you want. I love the way these turned out. These would be a great craft to do with friends, your grandkids, or your kids. What do you think of this one? It's definitely one of my favorites. For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, we're going to take 4 of these ornaments. Now, if you don't have these bare wood ones, you can use these from Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to paint 2 of these red. This is Rust-Oleum Farmhouse Red. And the other 2, I'm going to paint white using Waverly chalk paint in the white. Now, on the red ornaments, I'm going to paint the top portion white. And on the white ornaments, I'm going to paint them red. I also decided to paint 2 doilies, actually 1.5 doilies with the red tone. And then we are going to use other doilies in just the regular white. So here I am just going to paint those top portions. We're going to create a set of ornaments that are going to look different, but definitely similar, and it's going to create a nice set. For the red ones, I'm going to Mod Podge some of the white doilies, and I'm just going to add it wherever I want. So I'm just going to cut some of the doily as needed. Mod Podge, once I have it attached, I'm just going to add another coat of Mod Podge over the top, including the doily. And I did the same thing with the white ornament using the red doilies. I had to retouch the white ornament because it kind of got a little bit of red. I don't know if you caught that. So I'm just going to retouch that one. And while that one dries, I'm going to sand down the edges to remove the excess doilies. This works really well. You can also cut it if you want with scissors or an X-Acto knife. But I have found that sanding down removes the excess and leaves a nice smooth edge. We're going to take the leftover ribbon that we used earlier and cut off 2 pieces, a small one and an even smaller one. We are going to create small little bows that they all going to look the same, and it's going to be simple. Just literally make a double-sided loop and then add extra bit ribbon in the middle, tie it, cut off any excess, and hot glue it to the bottom of each top of the ornament. I did the same thing on all of them to keep them nice and simple and similar. And then even the leftover ribbon, we're going to use again. We are really reusing these. And I'm just going to cut it directly in half. And this is what we're going to use to create a hanging piece for the ornaments. Just thread it through, make a very simple knot, do the same thing on all 4 of them. And then now you have a beautiful set of ornaments you can keep for yourself. You can gift these, or you can even sell them. How stunning are these? And remember, you can use any color combination you want. Dollar Tree is decked out with Christmas decor, and these little trees are a must-have for every year. I had this one left over from last year. You can tell it's all scrunched up. So I'm just going to fluff it up as best as I can. The key is I want all the branches and the bristles to be kind of facing down. So I'm just going to straighten them out, fluff them going downwards. And then the large top one, the long one, just going to fluff it down and then cut off the excess so that way it matches. I'm going to take this $1 Dollar General stocking, remove everything from it, and we're going to add some stones. These are some stones that you can find at Dollar Tree pretty much year round. I'm just going to add a few to the bottom so it can be weighed down a little bit. I want the stocking to be a little fluffy, but not too puffy. I just want enough for it to create a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to add 3 bags from Dollar Tree and just kind of flatten it out a little bit and then make sure everything's looking really good. Now, you see the back branch right there, like the middle stem? I want to put that inside the stocking. So we're going to place it right there. Now, if I just push it down, it's kind of just going to be scrunched up just like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my scissors and make a slit right down the middle. This is going to allow me to place the stem right in there and then place the rest of the stocking kind of like around the tree. This was perfect. Now that I have it in place, I'm just going to hot glue the stockings on the side to each other, so the front to the back. I'm going to do that on both sides, and then I'm just going to hot glue the tree to the back of the stocking, and I'm just going to flip it over and add hot glue. This is going to allow the tree to now be attached to the stocking. Don't be afraid to add hot glue, just add as much as you can and then just kind of let it harden. Now we're going to fluff the tree and just kind of arrange it in a way that looks nice and organized and is already looking so pretty. All right, I'm going to take these little berries. This is just a little pick from Walmart, and I'm just going to start putting each berry wherever I kind of see fit. Just adding a little hot glue goes a long way. I did this so that it has a pop of color. Now, I do want to add some embellishments, so I'm going to add these glittery picks that you can find at Dollar Tree. I'm going to add 3 of them, 1 to each side and then 1 in the center. And then I'm going to take some cute little glittery ribbon from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has so many ribbons currently. This one is a very, very beautiful one. I'm going to make a multiple loop bow, scrunch it in the middle, take a pipe cleaner in the red and just kind of twist it. I'm going to cut off the excess pipe cleaners, fluff up the bow as much as I'm able to, and then I'm just going to hot glue it towards the right of the tree. In between the bristles, just kind of nestled in there. Then I'm going to add a cute little glittery flower to the top. Make sure all the little branches are where they need to be so that we can hang this beautiful stocking. I'm going to add the leftover pipe cleaner to the back with hot glue and add some of this faux fur fabric, and then that's it. Oh my word. How stunning is this stocking? One of my favorites from today. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take a white one of those trees. They are gorgeous too. You can find them again at Dollar Tree in the same section. We're not going to use the base, so we're going to remove that. And then we are going to fluff it, but not too much. We're actually going to leave it quite close to where it came from. And we're going to hide the larger, longer one at the bottom towards the back. We're going to take one of these Santa hats from Dollar Tree. Now, my daughter did a craft recently with one of my hats, and she left over this tiny little top portion, and I thought, this is perfect. So I'm going to place it right inside. I'm going to hot glue it as much as I am able to the front and the back. We're just going to make sure this little gnome Santa is not going to be losing its hat. So we're going to do the back and front. And because it is like a plastic tree, it does add or it does adhere very well. All right, so now we have the beginning of a beautiful, cute gnome. So we're just going to fluff the beard as we are able to, just until it looks nice and pretty. Here's a faux fur that came with the original hat, and I kept it also. And I'm just going to cut off a strip, a nice rectangle strip. And then before we do attach that, we want to grab one of these Christmas bulbs. You can find these at Dollar Tree pretty much every Christmas season. I'm going to grab one of the glittery gold ones, and this is going to be the gnome's nose. Of course, we need a nose, and it's got to be pretty extra large. So we're just going to hot glue it in the middle, and then just kind of add hot glue as needed until it's nestled in there in between the hat and the beard. Now we're going to add the faux fur. We're just going to hot glue it towards the top, right there over the nose from one side to the other. Hot glue as needed, and then we are going to cut off the excess with my scissors. Coming along very pretty. A little ball from the top of the hat my daughter used. So I'm just going to use one of these little snowballs that you can find at Dollar Tree currently, and I'm just going to hot glue it to the top. Very easy. Now I feel like it needed something, so I'm going to add a cute little pick. I added a white berry little pick from Dollar Tree and a cute little flower right there just to add a pop of color. And again, we're going to add some pipe cleaner on the back with hot glue and then more of that faux fur just to cover it up. And this one is so beautiful. I've made several gnomes, but this one, I gotta say, is one of my favorites. I love the way it turned out. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take another one of the green ones. This is a new one this time, and we are going to, again, not use the base, and we're going to fluff it in a different way. I'm going to show you. You're just going to bring all the bristles, all the branches directly down. Don't worry about fluffing sideways, upwards. No, just literally bring them all down one at a time. This is going to create a beautiful style, like it's just facing downwards and is very natural. And to me, it makes the tree look like it has way more branches than it really does. Again, that little one on the top, the long one, we're just going to cut to fit the size on the top ones. Fluff it as needed. Now we're going to need some Christmassy fabric, floral foam, and a small mason jar from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off a piece of the fabric so that we can add it inside the jar. The foam is going to go right inside. And then we're going to open up the jar because I had a feeling that foam was not going to fit. And it didn't. So I'm just going to use my foam cutter here from Dollar Tree. Just keep cutting until it fits. Once it fits, we're going to place it in the middle. We're just going to scrunch it up. And then we're going to place the entire thing inside the mason jar. I think you know where we're going with this, right? We're just going to put it right inside. Once it's inside, we're going to open up the fabric, reveal the foam, and then we're going to place the bottom portion right in the front. Just stick it in. At first, I thought I would just need the one tree because you're not going to see the back, but I changed my mind. So I grabbed another one of the green trees. I'm going to fluff it all the way down. Just again, those branches facing downwards. And then we're going to stick it right behind the other one. I think this worked so much better. We're going to use a zip tie from Dollar Tree and we're just going to join the trees together. You're going to see you're just going to press them together and then tighten the zip tie. And that way they're going to look as one tree. Fluff up the little branches so now it looks like one beautiful tree. And then we're going to keep it simple. We're going to take some more of that fabric. We're going to cut 1-inch strips long ways. And then we are going to do 3 of them. What I want to do is just keep it very simple and almost like a rustic feel. With one of the strips, I'm going to make a very simple bow. I'm going to size it to whatever size that I need. For the other 2, I'm just going to make a knot together. So I'm going to take the 2 of them together and make a knot right in the center. We're going to hot glue the one strips right there. And then right on top of the strips, we're going to add the one with the bow. Now, because we have 3 strands on each side, we're going to want the middle ones to be on the shorter side, the second ones in a medium size, and then the longer ones on the sides. That way, it just looks nice and even. I want to add 1 pine cone to the top just to add a little bit of texture. And that's it for this one. Now, you can use any fabric. You can make this glam. You can make this farmhouse, whatever you want. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? I'm actually loving it. Come with me to Dollar Tree. We are headed straight to the crafting aisle to get some yarn. Dollar Tree carries yarn pretty much year-round, and they have the traditional one as well as more fluffy ones. Let's get started with some really cute Christmas DIY crafts. This heart-shaped wreath form was left over from my Valentine's Day stash, and I thought I'm going to use it to create a cute little wreath form that is in the shape of a candy cane. So I'm going to cut it directly in half, and then I'm going to take a piece of cardboard. Any cardboard is fine, and I'm going to cut off a piece to add to the bottom as well as the top to finish off the shape. I'm going to poke 4 holes so that I can zip tie it to the wreath form, and that way it's going to be nice and secure. I did the same thing on the other side, and then I'm just going to cut off the excess zip tie. I'm going to cut off some of the cardboard just to shape it a little bit more in the shape of the candy cane. I am now going to take this towel that you can find at Dollar Tree in the automotive aisle, and I'm just going to cut it into strips long ways. These are about 2-inch thick, and what's nice about cutting them into strips is that it makes it go a long way. Instead of wrapping it with yarn, which you can do, but that'd be a lot of yarn, wrapping it up with this towel gave it that yarn look without having to wrap it with it. I'm just going to hot glue and cut as needed, starting at the top and working my way to the bottom. The key is that you want to start and finish each strip in the back of the wreath so that you do not see that portion. I am now going to bring this fluffy, beautiful red yarn from Dollar Tree. You can find again in their crafting aisle. And I'm just going to start wrapping it around about 1 inch thick. And then I'm going to do it all the way from the bottom to the top, leaving about 3 inches in between each red yarn. Once I've reached the top, I am going to take some of these frosted berry greenery picks from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make a little bundle. I am then going to place them kind of around the center of the candy cane, and then I'm just going to tie it with some white yarn. You can use whatever you have on hand. And then I'm going to add more berries. I just thought I need a little bit more red. This is a pick that I got from Walmart. Again, tie it with some yarn. This is another ribbon from Walmart that I think it's gorgeous and it really goes with that candy cane theme. I'm just going to make two little awareness ribbon kind of loops and then scrunch them in the middle to create a double loop bow, tie it in the center with some yarn, and use the same yarn to tie it around the candy cane. Then we're going to add just a very simple pine cone right in the center. This is just to kind of bring everything together, add texture, and I added one extra frosted berry to the top. I cut the ends of the ribbon, and look how stunning this looks. Can you believe this was a heart-shaped wreath form? Let me know what you think of this one. For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take another piece of just whatever cardboard I have on hand. And I'm going to start cutting a piece that kind of looks like it's rounded on the top and then kind of squared at the bottom. I attempted to make it nice and round. I wasn't having good luck. So I just took a bowl and I just used that as my guide. So then we're going to take another piece of cardboard and we're going to cut it. This is going to be a rectangle shape. And we're going to use this to create a cute little cozy winter hat. I'm going to take this fluffy, cozy sock from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut off the top portion and I'm just going to place the top portion of the hat right inside. It's already looking like a cute little hat. I'm going to tie the top and I'm just going to use some red ribbon that I had laying around. I'm going to bring in some of this fluffy yarn. Now, this yarn is actually from a Hobby Lobby that I got a long time ago. I'm going to start hot gluing it onto the rectangle piece of cardboard. I'm going to hot glue the end at the beginning and then as well as the edge at the end. This is just going to keep it in place and I'm just going to wrap it around until the entire thing is covered. And then I am just going to attach it to the bottom of the hat. Hot glue was plenty sufficient. Once I attached it, I realized that I needed something in between the hat and that front portion. So I'm going to take 3 pieces of the yarn and I'm just going to tape it to my board there and I'm just going to start braiding it. Once I have it braided, I'm going to knot it at the top as well as the bottom. And I'm just going to trim and hot glue it all around that middle portion there. That way, it's just going to bring everything together and make it look nice and seamless. I want to now make a cute little pom-pom, and I'm sure you've seen many of these being made. I'm just going to wrap it around a piece of cardboard. I'm going to remove the cardboard, then I'm going to tie it right in the center of all those pieces, nicely tight, and then I'm going to cut open all the loops. Then I just want to shape it into a nice little messy ball. I want this to have a relaxed look. Once I had it in the shape I wanted, I'm just going to hot glue it right there to the top. I cut off those pieces of red ribbon and I'm going to cut off just a little bit of the remaining hat. That way it looks nice and clean. I'm going to take this greenery pick from Dollar Tree, hot glue it to the bottom left corner, a pine cone from Dollar Tree as well, and one additional frosted berry from Dollar Tree also. That's it for this one. I think this one's absolutely gorgeous. So cozy. And imagine making this one even bigger and use it as a wreath. I love it. For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take a leftover toilet paper roll and I'm going to cut it into 4s. And I'm just going to use one for today. I'm going to take this beautiful yarn. These are more of the traditional yarn from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to start taking some strips that are about 12 inches long. And I'm just going to do as many as I need. I'm going to cover up this little piece of the toilet paper roll. So I'm just going to fold that in half and loop it in between the little loop, just like you see me doing there, and then just tighten it as I go. I'm going to do this until the entire roll is covered. You've probably seen this done on social media. I've seen it done many times. I've seen it on Pinterest, and I've never done one myself, so I wanted to give it a try. I covered the entire thing, and now I'm going to just kind of place those strands inside of the hole and then just kind of brush them as I go. We're going to create a nice little cozy winter hat. Now, we are going to make this into a little gnome, so I want to make sure that the inside is cozied up and full. So I'm going to take one of these snowballs that you can find at Dollar Tree. They fit perfect right inside the little hat. I'm just going to squeeze it right in there. This is going to give me a nice firm inside, as well as just as I'm tying it, it'll be nice and round at the top. I'm going to cut off the excess yarn. That way it's nice and clean. And now I'm going to make another one of those pom-poms, similar to what we did earlier. Roll it around in a piece of cardboard, tie it in the center with another piece of yarn. Then we're going to cut open all of the loops and we're going to shape it in the shape we want. Now, because this is going to be a cute little gnome, I want to shape it a little bit like a gnome beard. So I'm just going to give it that shape and then hot glue it to the bottom of the hat, just like that. We want to give it a cute little nose, so I'm just going to take a wooden bead and I'm going to place it right in the front, and I'm just going to snuggle it up right there in between the beard and the hat. I am now going to take a tiny little piece of greenery and I'm just going to place it there to the left, and then a cute little tiny piece of red berries. I'm going to add one extra piece of yarn. This is just going to give me something to hang it from in case I want to use it as an ornament, which I think would be so adorable. Look how cute this is. Oh my word, my friends, I would make 100 of these. It was so much fun, and how adorable is this? For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take one of these foam cones from Dollar Tree. You can find them in the floral section. I'm also going to take two of these fluffy yarns from Dollar Tree. One is like a kind of like a deep red. The other one is like a beige color. I'm going to just kind of roll it around the cone. We're going to create a cute fluffy little Christmas tree, and I'm going to do them together. So I'm just going to keep both strands together, roll it around all the way from the top to the bottom. You don't have to hot glue, only in the beginning and the end to keep it in place, but it's up to you if you want to hot glue even more. Once I have it nice and secure, I want to add a dowel to the bottom of it. So I'm going to take this piece of dowel and I'm just going to make a hole. Then I'm going to add some hot glue and then add the dowel again. Now I have a piece of a wood. This is a wood slice that you can get at any craft store, even Amazon. I'm going to drill a hole right in the center using a drill bit that fits the dowel perfectly. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue and stick it right in there. I did cut off the excess dowel to make sure it's a nice size for it. I thought I'd add some LED lights just to give it a little bit more of a warm tone. So I'm just going to roll it around, and because it has a wired center, it's going to roll around really easily. Now Dollar Tree carries these. I took a little piece of wire, I folded it in half just to kind of make sure the lights stay in, and hot glued the battery pack to the back. I'm going to add another one of those snowballs right on top, and then I might want to add a little bow here made with some jute string. I just want to add a little bit of that rustic look that the wood slice has. I roll around in my hand just a few times, tie it in the center with some more jute string. I'm going to fluff up the bow just a little bit and hot glue it to the top. Again, this is just to bring everything together with the wood slice and the jute string, and I think it's so adorable. I love that it lights up and it looks so beautiful at night. What do you think of this one? It's actually one of my favorites. Not only are Dollar Tree gift bags and gift boxes perfect for gift giving and very inexpensive, they are the perfect addition to your crafting this Christmas season. I'm going to show you how I use them to create beautiful DIY crafts for home decor for this Christmas. Let's get started. I fell in love with this beautiful box. Not only does it have a gorgeous design, it is actually pretty large. And then when I opened it, it had plaid. Oh my word. It's a beautiful box for gift giving, but we're going to tear it apart. We're going to remove the edges, and then we are going to clean it off nice and neat on the sides. This box was actually the top of a box that was given to me, and I never knew what to do with it. So we're going to put it on here, and we're going to create a frame for this beautiful Santa design. Now I want to create the same kind of color scheme that the actual picture has. So I'm going to start painting and adding different shades of colors of greens and beiges and darks and even blues to create a similar look than what the picture has. So I'm just going to let you watch as I try to recreate the design all around the beautiful picture. Once I had it as close as possible to the color scheme, I'm just going to lightly sand it after it dried to smooth out the brush strokes. I'm just going to add a 220 grit sandpaper and just going to brush it after it is nice and sanded to remove any dust. Then I am going to put on my gloves because I do want to distress and antique a little bit the edges. I did distress it with the sandpaper, but adding the antiquing wax really adds a nice darker antique kind of look, and I think the picture really calls for it. So I'm just going to add it just on the edges and wipe off any excess. Here it is. I'm going to place it on top, and I actually love the way it looks. But I did decide to kind of soften those edges just a little bit. I'm just going to sand it down ever so lightly just to create softer edges. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to spray it with this Gorilla adhesive spray just on the opposite side of the picture and then place it right in the center. I am absolutely in love with this frame. It looks very high end. It looks like I spent a lot of money on it. And the box was just $1.25 and the frame was free. I'd love to know what you think of this one. For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to use this beautiful Joy gift bag. Boy, is it gorgeous, and it is two-sided. So if you want to make two pictures or use it two ways, go ahead. I am going to take the front part of it, and I'm just going to remove the excess bag. I'm going to then take my X-Acto knife. This is a Cricut one that I've had, but you can use whatever you have. I just highly recommend you remove the blade that you have and put on a fresh new one. I want it to be able to just cut through the bag seamlessly because the detail on this wreath in the center was intense. It actually took me about 45 minutes to remove the entire edge, so I'm speeding it up here for you. But I just put on a Christmas movie and I enjoyed the process because it actually turned out gorgeous. Wait until you see it. So I removed all of the edges around as well as inside of the wreath. Once I had it cut, I'm just going to put it to the side and I'm going to take this piece of 1x10. I got this at the hardware store in the wood section. I cut it to about 19 inches long. I sanded it down smooth with a 220 grit sandpaper, wiped it down really well, and now I'm going to paint it white, but I'm going to do more of a whitewash. So basically, I just want to add the paint, spritz it with my water bottle, and then with a dry rag, I'm just going to remove the excess paint. This is going to allow it to get a white tint, but you're still going to be able to see the wood grain. I did this in the front as well as the back, and then I let it dry completely. I am now going to Mod Podge the entire thing. So I'm just going to add Mod Podge. This is going to do two things. It's going to seal the paint, and it's also going to allow me to place the Joy design right in the center, and it will attach. I'm going to be honest with you though. Some of the little corners and pointy parts of the wreath were kind of lifting up, so I had to retouch it with a little bit of hot glue on those edges. Overall, it worked really well. I'm going to add more Mod Podge right on top just to seal everything and let it dry. Same as the previous project, I am going to distress and antique those edges. I think it just calls for it. So I'm going to use a rag in my glove again and the Waverly antiquing wax. And I'm just going to do it on the edges, the corners, and then going to soften it with a sandpaper. This is a 220 grit sandpaper and wiped it well. I am now going to measure 3 inches from each edge on the top. I'm going to mark with a pencil and then I'm going to drill a couple of holes, not deep holes, just small holes. And then I'm going to use these hooks that I get on Amazon and I'm just going to put one on each side, making sure that they're facing the same way. I'm going to take some nautical rope from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to use it to be able to create something you can hang with. Now, you can skip this. You can add cloth sawtooth hooks to the back. You can actually add, you can leave it like this and just place it on a tabletop. Whatever you want. I just decided to add the nautical rope for an extra touch of character. I gotta say, this one is stunning. The colors, the antique look that it has. I would love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down below in the comments. Not only does Dollar Tree have gift bags, but Dollar General does as well. This little bundle of 7 bags was $4, and I love that it had this really antique look to them. I'm going to quickly show you the designs, and you're going to see the possibilities are endless. I ended up deciding on the tree. I just think it looked so cute, very simple. I'm going to cut off the front portion of it, and again, it's two-sided, so you can do 2 of these if you'd like. I'm going to very carefully remove the handle. Now this, I was kind of scared because it was pulling some of the paper, but it came off really good. I'm going to take this cute little frame that is from Dollar Tree, and I am going to remove everything from it, but we're going to put it right back. We just want to remove the little paper that it has, and also we want to use the glass as a guide so that we can cut the bag where we need to. So I'm just going to place it nice and even, mark with a pencil, and then just cut with my scissors. Once I had it cut to size, it's just a matter of putting things back together. Really easy. The glass first, then the design, and then the back. Make sure you really push those clips down so that it is nice and secure. I wanted to add a little embellishment, so I have these little leftover picks from Christmas last year, and I'm just going to put one on the top as well as one on the side. However, after I looked at it, I was like, I think that top one's way too big. So I did remove it. I cut off the X's and I glued it once again. It worked out really well and it looks so much better. Now I wanted to add some little pine cones that I have. These you can find at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add a couple of them, one to each side, and then one frosted berry right on top. And this is going to pull from that red portion of the design. Now you see the little tag, little portion on the bottom of the frame. I thought I would take a permanent marker, a red one, and write the word joy. The first marker did not work. So I grabbed another one and just spelled it. And I just love the way this one turned out. It's such an easy craft, and if you make multiple of them, I think it would look gorgeous. What do you think? Let's head to Dollar Tree and find foam board. Foam board is such an easy item to craft with for not just student projects, but for DIY crafts. And let me show you what I did with the first one. I'm going to cut off a piece that's about 5-inch wide, and then I'm going to cut 3 pieces the same size. Once I have those cut, I'm going to find the middle of the top portion, and then I'm just going to cut using my blade knife from the middle top to each corner. We're going to create little triangles, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other 2. Once I have them set, I'm going to get 3 different types of ribbon. Now, all these ribbons are from Dollar Tree. They carry a huge selection of beautiful ribbon during Christmas season. I'm going to cut off a couple of pieces, and I'm going to cover each triangle with a different ribbon. And it's simple. You just want to hot glue the first one, then you want to fold it towards the back, hot glue it as needed, and cut if you need to, and then move on to the second piece. Now, don't worry if the very end piece is not completely covered, because we're going to cover that up anyways. Recently, I was at Walmart and I found a beautiful selection of ribbon. This was one of them. It has a faux fur look. It is white, and you get 21 feet for about $8. I thought it was a pretty good deal considering the quality and how beautiful it is. I'm going to cut off a piece and then cut that in half long ways, and I'm going to do that to the bottom of the triangle. We're going to make some cute little Santa hat ornaments. Wait until you see how cute these look. All right, so I cut off the X's. Now, I had these leftover pom-poms from, I don't know what. They were in my stash, but they were from previous projects. I'm going to hot glue one to the top, and then add a little greenery pick that I get on Amazon and a cute little berry. This is a berry pick from Walmart. I'm going to use this red rope from Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to make a little loop, hot glue it to the back, and this is so we can hang it from there. How cute is that? For the next one, it's going to be very similar to the first. We're going to cover the front using this burlap ribbon. Again, this one's from Dollar Tree, and this one you can actually find year-round in the ribbon aisle. I'm going to stack it up and just hot glue as needed. And then on the bottom, I'm going to place another one of those pieces of faux fur ribbon, cut off the excess, and then we're going to place one of those little pom-poms right on top. Now for this one, we're going to keep it pretty neutral, I guess. We're just going to add this cute little bottle brush tree from Dollar Tree and then 3 little berries. And then same thing, we are going to loop some red rope and add it to the back. For the third one, we're going to use this beautiful ribbon. It has a burlap look to it, but it does have a design from Dollar Tree. Same thing, we're just going to cover it up starting in the top and then the bottom. We're going to use the same faux fur ribbon for the bottom of this one and another pom-pom to use in the top. If you don't have these cute little pom-poms, you can use whatever you have on hand, and you can even create your own little pom-pom with some yarn. Cut off the excess, add the pom-pom, and then for this one, we are going to add some greenery. Now this greenery is from Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to hot glue it in place, and this cute little glittery flower from Dollar Tree as well. Add a berry, and then add more rope to the back, and that's it. Such an easy project. You can do this with friends. You can do this with your kiddos or grandkids. Love the way that turned out. What do you think of this one? And I gotta say, it's one of my favorites from today. Christmas DIY craft, we're gonna take another piece of the foam board and cut 3 pieces. Then we are going to cut them into triangles, just like the first project, except these are going to be thinner. We are going to make a cute little tree that's very 3D-like. Now, I want to remind you, all of these projects I did with one foam board from the Dollar Tree, and I had some left over. All right, so once I had the triangles made, I'm going to cut each triangle directly in half. Then I'm going to take another one of those pages from the book, and we are going to Mod Podge it in the front and the back. Now, at first, I thought it was just the front, and I realized, wait, no, I have to cover the back as well because you're going to be able to see it. So just take your time, watch a movie, listen to music, and just Mod Podge them, again, the front and the back. And then you just want to cut off the excess using your either X-Acto knife or blade knife. Now, Dollar Tree carries these stems, again, year-round, and I love using these for crafts for every season. I'm going to take one of the thicker ones, and I'm going to start hot gluing each half. Now, make sure that you are hot gluing the half that is straight towards the middle, okay? And then we're going to do one at a time, making sure that they're directly across each other and that all 6 pieces are evenly separated. You can also add hot glue and kind of hot glue them to each other in the center. I'm going to cut off the top just to kind of point it a little bit better. And then I'm going to add greenery towards the top. And this is one from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to hot glue it in place. Then I'm just going to add a cute little flower once again. The same red glittery one to the front, one to the back. How gorgeous is this little tree? Imagine making this, but a bigger one. Wouldn't that be absolutely gorgeous? For this next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, we're going to take another piece of that same foam board and cut off a piece that is probably about 10 inches wide. And then we're going to cut it at about, I don't know, maybe 15 inches tall. Again, we're going to find the middle on the top, and then we're just going to cut the sides, creating another triangle tree. This one's going to be much larger, and we're actually going to be covering it using the beautiful ribbon from Dollar Tree. It has red poinsettias and it has a red trim, and it is wired and it's easy to work with. We're going to cover the entire tree from top to bottom. Now, the first piece of ribbon is very important. You want to angle it at whatever angle you want the entire piece to have. I decided to do a cute little angle. Then we are going to just cut and hot glue as needed until it's completely covered to the bottom. Once I have it completely covered, I'm just going to wrap the pieces towards the back. Now, if you had enough ribbon, you can always just wrap the entire thing, but I didn't, so I had to leave the back bare. I'm going to take a wood slice. These I get on Amazon, and I do have on my Amazon store. I'm going to hot glue the tree right on there, leaving enough space in the front to add a piece of foam so that we can add some greenery. We're going to add greenery from Dollar Tree as well as a couple smaller ones from Amazon. I'm also going to add some of these golden glittery picks that you can find at Dollar Tree currently, one to each side, and this is going to pull that golden tone from the ribbon. I'm going to add a frosted little pine cone right in the center and the two little picks right in the front. This is such an easy craft, and how gorgeous is this? You can even make two and make another one that's a little bit smaller. That would be beautiful. What do you think of this one? Mason jars. You can find this pretty much year-round at Dollar Tree. Currently, they have a larger size and a smaller size, and I brought home several of them. I'm going to show you what I'm going to create using them, and you can actually use these for gifts as well as just keep them for yourself. For this first Christmas DIY craft using a mason jar, I'm going to take the top of one of them and trace it on some Dollar Tree vinyl and then cut it very precise or as close as possible to a precise circle. Then I'm going to place it in the front of a smaller of the mason jars. Once you have it nicely attached, you want to start adding some Mod Podge. You can use as little or as much as you want. I added about a medium amount on it just because I wanted it not to dry on me really quick. And then I'm going to start adding some faux snow. I want this mason jar to have a beautiful, magical, snowy, kind of frosted-like look. So I'm just going to start spreading the faux snow all over the Mod Podge. Once it was dry, I'm going to carefully remove the vinyl and reveal a nice, clear circle. This is where we're going to put a nice candle inside. All right, so then we're going to put some ribbon on the thread. Here's the thing. I started with this ribbon and I ended up not liking it as much, but I'm going to show you the process. That way you can see how it all turned out. So I started wrapping it around, and although it's a very pretty ribbon, I just found one that I kind of like better. You're going to see here in just a minute. But I did attach it with hot glue and it worked really well. I'm going to add some pillow stuffing away at the bottom. This is just to create a little bit of height on the bottom. And then we're going to add a little bit more of those snowy flakes just to add a little bit more character and texture. These little battery operated candles you can find at Dollar Tree pretty much year round as well. But they currently have some really cute ones that I'm going to show you as the video comes along. Now, this is where I decided to remove the ribbon and add this beautiful teak and stripe red and white one. I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to fold it in half and then I'm going to hot glue it on the thread. I want to add some greenery, and although Dollar Tree has some beautiful greenery, I did find these on Amazon, and they were nice and small, and I love these for those smaller crafts that I create sometimes. So I added a couple of them in the front, and then I'm going to hot glue a couple of these little small pine cones you can also find at Dollar Tree. Isn't this beautiful? I love the way this one turned out. It has a very magical, snowy kind of Christmas morning vibe. What do you think?
Keeping people pleased, but this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start.
For the next Dollar Tree mason jar Christmas craft, I'm going to take a smaller one, remove the lid and the sticker. I'm going to take this plaid fabric that I've had for a while, and I'm going to cut off just a piece from it. And then we're going to wrap it around the center of the mason jar. We're going to attach it to each other with some hot glue, and we're going to actually put the decorations in the front. Basically is where I created this seam. I like the little fray portion of it. I'm going to wrap around some jute string, and then I'm just going to make a very simple knot. I'm going to cut off the X's, and then I'm going to make a bow using more jute string. This is going to be very easy. I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers several times, probably about 15 times. Then I'm going to cut another piece, scrunch it in the middle, tie it, and then I'm going to fluff the bow just a little bit and create two little legs towards the bottom of the bow. Then we're going to hot glue it right there in the center. To add a little bit more of character and texture, we're going to add a couple of these pine cones. Even one of them is not really perfect, but I really liked it. I'm going to give it a little snowy look by just adding paint, and I'm just going to dab it here and there and then let it dry. Then I'm going to hot glue them, one towards the bottom and one towards the top of the bow. This is such an easy craft you can make with friends, with your kiddos, or even your grandkids. Here's a different type of candle. This one has a glittery finish. Same thing, you just remove the little plastic tab and turn it on, and it flickers just like a real candle, and I think it's so adorable. I'm just going to place it inside. That's it. I think it's so beautiful. Wait until you see it in the dark. I just love the way this one turned out. What do you think? For this next Dollar Tree mason jar Christmas craft, I'm going to take one of the larger ones, remove the lid, and then we're going to keep it because we're going to add some foam to it. This is foam that you can find at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use the foam cutter, and you can actually find it at Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to hot glue a couple of pieces on the inside of the mason jar so that we can add some greenery. I'm going to add different types of greenery that I have on hand. These are from Amazon. I'm also going to remove some of the bristles so that I am able to poke it right on to the foam, and then a couple here and there from Dollar Tree as well.
But the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you.
I'm going to bring in more of that faux snow, and I want to give you a closer look. So this is what the package looks like, and I actually got to say, I love it. So once I added the snow in the mason jar, I'm just going to start placing the greenery right inside the jar, just like that. Might have to squish them a little bit, but it works. And then once you put the lid on, you just flip it, and you have this beautiful snowy-like, kind of like a snow globe. I did forget to take the sticker out. So I did that, and it didn't remove quite well. So I'm going to use some of this Goo Gone. You can get this actually at Dollar Tree. But look how beautiful this turned out. Another gorgeous snowy Christmas style decor. Such a beautiful and easy craft.
The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're
For the next Dollar Tree mason jar Christmas craft, I'm going to take more vinyl, and I am going to actually this one roll on the opposite way to remove some of that bend. And then we are going to use a similar technique that we did with the circle, but this one we're going to create the shape of a bell. So I'm just going to freehand it. If you have a cutting machine, you can certainly use a cutting machine. I'm just going to cut it again. Now, after I cut it, I realized it was a little too large for the small mason jar, which is what we're using for this one. So I ended up having to just kind of draw it again, but just use the same one. I just made it a little smaller, and then I cut it again, remove the back, and place it in the front of the jar. Now for this one, we're going to take it outside, and we are going to spray paint it with this beautiful bright red by Rust-Oleum. I just did a couple of light coats, and it was plenty sufficient. I did all the sides, and I let it dry. It was actually a warm day, so it turned out really fast. I'm going to remove the decal and then reveal the nice clear front portion. It's so satisfying. All right, so this one is a Pinterest inspired one, and the one I saw on the Pinterest had this beautiful kind of like golden trim on the bell. I'm just going to freehand it with some gold paint that I had, and I kind of liked the way it turned out. It had a very like hand brushed look to it, and after a couple of coats, it was perfect. So now I'm going to take some more of that pillow stuffing. I'm just going to shape it a little bit and add it to the bottom. Again, this is just going to add some height, and it kind of looks a little bit like snow. I realized that some of the paint that when I was spraying it got into the clear portion, so I'm just going to take one of these wipes and just remove it. All right, so here's another type. This is a golden type candle. Again, really easy to use. And I'm going to use some of this golden string that I got on Amazon and just wrap it around the thread portion several times. Make a very simple knot. And then we're going to add more of those little greenery picks that I got on Amazon. Hot glue them to the front. I'm going to add a cute little pine cone. And look how cute this turned out. Oh, it has such a beautiful, bright red color, very traditional for Christmas. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree mason jar Christmas craft, I'm going to take one of these wooden slices that you can find sometimes at Dollar Tree, but I get mine either at Walmart or Amazon, and I do have some in my Amazon store. I am going to hot glue a couple of pieces of foam to this one as well, right there in the center. Then we're going to take a larger mason jar, remove the lid, and we're going to put the lid right on top of the foam. Then we're going to bring in my screwdriver and a screw. We want to make sure that the screw is going to be large enough to go through the 3 pieces, but not go through the bottom of the wood piece. I'm going to place it. I'm just going to screw it from the top. Take my time, do it very carefully until the screw tightens. Just make sure it doesn't go through the bottom. Now I'm going to take some more of those little greenery picks, and I'm just going to add them to the foam all around the base. I cut off some of the excess pick, that way it's not going to be too long. And I did that all around. Once I had them in place, I'm just gonna ever so slightly, just kind of face them upwards just so you can see the wood slice a little bit more. I'm gonna take these little bells that you can find at Dollar Tree. Currently, they have them in different colors. I'm just gonna take some red and golden ones and I'm just gonna start hot gluing them here and there around the greenery. I'm going to bring in one of these faux candles. These are battery operated and these are actually remote control. I got these on Amazon and they come a whole pack, different sizes. You can even set it on a timer and you can even set it as a candle or you just press it and it flickers or just completely lit. I love these. They're so fun. You can put them in your mantle, your fireplace. Love them. All right, so now we're just going to place the larger mason jar right on top, screw it in, and that's it. Oh my gosh, this one is stunning. You can add whatever decor you want on the base. I kept it pretty simple, but I love the way it turned out. What do you think? We are at Dollar Tree and we are looking for wrapping paper. They have beautiful designs, and although they are great for wrapping gifts, of course, today I am going to show you how you can create beautiful DIY crafts with them. I'm going to take these two wooden planks that I used for a different project years ago. I had painted it and distressed it using a dry brush technique. I didn't need that project anymore, but I kept the boards because why not? I'm going to start marking where I need to cut because I want to create a planked Christmas tree. So I made a few cuts using my miter saw, and now we have some pieces. We're just going to lining up from largest to smallest. Once I have them lined up, I am going to cover 3 of the pieces using this beautiful wrapping paper, and we are going to cover 3 of the pieces, the top, the middle, and the bottom. We're going to remove the other 2 pieces and put them to the side temporarily. I'm going to add Mod Podge to the first piece. Just a thin layer was sufficient. I'm going to place the wrapping paper right on top, and we're going to smooth it out as much as we can. I'm going to take a light sandpaper, and I'm just going to sand down the edges. If you go in a downward motion, it removes the excess paper without tearing it, and it just leaves a nice smooth edge. I'm going to add another layer of Mod Podge on top to seal everything, and I did the same exact thing to the other 2 pieces. As I'm laying the last layer of Mod Podge on the other one, I am going to put them to the side and let them dry. Now we're going to put everything together, including the 2 pieces. We're going to flip them over and we're going to attach them using a paint sticks. You can use whatever you have on hand. These are just a great alternative, really inexpensive. I'm going to mark with a pencil where I need to put hot glue. This is just going to allow the stick to stay in place while I then brad nail it. Now you can use staples if you'd like. I just love using my brad nailer, so I'm just going to use a couple of them on each plank. Now I'm going to add some greenery. Although you can leave the tree as is, I'm going to add greenery to the bottom plank. These are just a combination of Dollar Tree as well as Amazon picks. I'm going to keep it pretty simple and make sure that it is not overlapping towards the bottom of the tree. And that's it. What a beautiful way to use this wrapping paper. Gorgeous design, gorgeous craft. What do you think of this one? Dollar Tree has an entire crafting aisle and it has tons of wood pieces just like these wood cutout words. I found this family one in the fall section. I love the size of it. I remove the jute string and now I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge. We're going to cover it using the same wrapping paper I used for the previous project. Once I had the layer on it, I just placed the piece right on top. Press this down, make sure all the bubbles are gone, and it was nicely attached. I used my rotary cutter to remove any excess paper, and now I'm going to use a technique that I learned from Deidre from Upcyclo Life. She did this where she burned the edges and it works like magic. Basically, you just want to start very carefully burning the edges and it literally stops at the edge of the word. Now, always have water nearby just in case you need it. Take your time, have some ventilation on as well, and just have fun and watch the magic happen. It literally just light up and it goes all the way to the edge. And once it's done, you just want to clean it off and sand down any edges that you may have, any excess paper. I'm going to take another one of those leftover planks from my previous project, and I am going to hot glue the word right on top of it. Hot glue is sufficient, but you can add wood glue if you'd like. I'm going to add some of these frosted pieces I found at Target Dollar Spot. They are just different types like greenery and frosted berries and leaves and pine cones. A really good selection. I'm just going to start hot gluing them to each side. They're not going to be exactly the same, but they're going to look similar enough where it's just going to complement each other. This is just going to add a nice wintry Christmassy feel to it. You can actually leave all winter long. What do you think of this one? Oh my word, I love using this technique. If you want to give it a try, go for it. Just be very careful. For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take a book from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has tons of books available in their book aisle, and let me tell you, these are great for reading, but also for crafting. I'm going to remove some of the pages and I'm going to start tearing them apart, literally, cutting them into different size squares. I want to have 4 different sizes, a large, a medium, and then kind of like 2 smaller ones. We're going to create a cute little Christmas tree with paper. Now we're going to use book paper as well as this beautiful wrapping paper from Dollar Tree. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut off pieces to match the size of the book pages. Once I had them cut, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and start making slits in the middle. Just a crisscross slit. This is going to give me a nice opening that's going to allow me to thread a bamboo skewer stick right through it. Now, the bamboo skewer stick is one of these extra large ones that you can find during the summer season. And I'm just going to start threading them. I'm going to do maybe like a couple book pages and then a few wrapping paper. The key is to just have fun and alternate them as you want. I added a little dab of glue on the very first one at the bottom. That way it's not going to roll down on me. And I'm just going to keep doing this until all the pages are on the skewer stick. Make sure that you start from the largest and work your way up to the smallest one. Once you're done, just arrange them as needed. Just push them here and there and then cut off any excess skewers that you do not need. I left about an inch on mine. Then I'm going to place it right in the center of a foam round from Dollar Tree and secured it with a little bit of hot glue. This ribbon I'm going to use is from Walmart, but Dollar Tree has gorgeous designs like you see here, so use one of theirs if you need to. I love the ticking stripe style of this one. It's a little too thick, so I'm just going to cut it into 4 thinner pieces. Then I'm going to shape it into a nice relaxed bow. I cut off the excess legs and then we're just going to hot glue it to the top of the tree. You can add whatever you want. You can add a little star. I added ribbon and a bow just because I thought it looked really cute. I'm going to add some of these tiny little picks that I get on Amazon. So I added several to the front of the tree, and then I'm going to add one of these garland ties. You can get these at Dollar Tree. However, this one here is from Walmart. And this is just so that we don't have to use the picks on the back because you're not going to see it. I added some Dollar Tree red berry picks to the front, and that's it. What a gorgeous tree. It's definitely one of my favorites from today, but what do you think of this one? Dollar Tree has an entire section of beautiful picture frames for $1.25 each. And although they are great to be able to hang pictures and documents on the wall, I'm going to show you today how you can use them for DIY crafts that are gorgeous and so unique. I'm going to start with this vertical style one. I'm going to remove everything from it, including the little tabs. However, at first I thought I was going to keep a couple of the clips, but I ended up not needing them. But I'll show you what I did here in just a minute. I removed one of the hanging clips from the cardboard because we are going to be using the actual cardboard. I'm going to very lightly sand the frame just to scuff it up a bit and remove the sheen, and then I'm going to wipe it really well and remove all the dust. I'm going to give it a quick coat of white Waverly chalk paint. This is just going to give me a nice bright frame. However, you can paint it in any color you'd like. One coat is all that I needed because I did want to distress it anyways. These gift bags are actually from Dollar General, and you can find them at Dollar Tree as well. I just didn't find any in my current run right now. I'm going to take this one that says Merry and Bright, and I'm going to remove the front portion of it, and I'm going to adhesive spray it onto the cardboard that came with the frame. Once I have it centered, I'm just going to press it down really well, and once it was attached, I am going to take my blade knife and I'm going to cut off the portion in the middle. So just the red glittery portion as well as the center Merry and Bright. I highly suggest you use a blade knife that is very sharp. This one is fantastic. I get it on Amazon and it is in my Amazon store. If you want to check it out, I have it linked down below in the description box. Alright, so the frame dried and now I'm just going to sand it down very lightly just to give it a little bit more of a farmhouse distress look. And then I'm going to place the design right on top. I contemplated putting it behind, but I think it looked better in the front. So I'm just going to remove the remaining clips because I'm not going to need them. I'm going to hot glue the design wherever it touches the frame. And then I am going to remove any excess from the sides using my blade knife. Now you can definitely leave it just like this, but I wanted to add a little bit more decor to it. I'm going to take these little frosted white berry picks from Dollar Tree. I want to add a little bit of a foam right on top just so that we have something to attach them to. I'm going to hot glue and place them where I need them. And then I'm going to place a cute little pine cone right in the center. We're going to keep it nice and simple. I want the design to be the star of the show. I'm going to cover up the foam using some extra picks. These are ones I get on Amazon. And then I'm going to add some of these frosted red berries from Dollar Tree. This is just going to add a pop of color and really bring everything together with the design as well as the florals. And that's it. Oh my word, my friends. Look how gorgeous this looks. It literally looks like I used a cutting machine. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY crafts, I'm going to take these cute little ones. I love the wood tone that it has and the size of it. So I'm going to bring 4. We're going to remove everything from it. I'm talking about the back, the little clips or the little tag holders from the front, everything. But we're not going to throw away the glass because we're going to use them. We're going to create a little faux window. Now, I'm sure you've seen these before, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to create it and create a story with it. So I'm going to hot glue all of the frames together, creating a cute little window style. Hot glue was plenty sufficient. They are very lightweight, but we are going to reinforce them with some staples in just a bit. We're going to replace those glasses right back in, and we are going to hot glue them. That way we're not going to see those clips from the front. A little bit of hot glue goes a long way, but make sure you add enough to hold it. Adding the glass really made it just a bit heavier, so we do want to add those staples. So I'm just going to use my electric stapler and just staple down the center, making sure everything is joined nice and tight. These window clings are amazing. I find them at Dollar Tree all the time. I did a video using these and I had some leftovers and I thought, what a great idea to place them on these cute little windows. We're going to start with these Santa and reindeer sticker kind of decals, and we're going to cut them in half and place it on the top portion. I'm going to flat cut the sides, that way it's flush to the center. This looks like Santa and the reindeers are up in the sky flying. I'm going to add these cute little houses to the bottom and some snowflakes, while creating a beautiful story of just Christmas night, right? So I thought adding these cute little snowmen to the other side was just the perfect addition. How cute is this? All right, so I want to add even more magical touch. So I'm going to add these LED lights, which these I got on Amazon, but you can find them at Dollar Tree currently, so run and get them. I'm going to staple them all around the frame, on the sides, the bottom, even the center. I'm going to staple them in place very carefully, and that way when it's lit up, it's just going to look so magical. Wait until you see it. All right, so we're going to flip it back to the front, and we're going to add a little foam to the top. We're going to add some greenery. These are from Dollar Tree. They have a little bit of a frosted glitter to them. They're really cute. And then we're just going to add a couple of these smaller ones that I do get on Amazon. And look at this garland I found at the Dollar Tree Plus. Oh my word, my friends. These are large berries. They come a ton for $3. It's a garland, but all you have to do is separate them. Look how gorgeous this looks. And I'm going to show you one in a darker room. You're going to love it. I love the way this one turned out. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take this beautiful frame. It's black and it has such a beautiful design, very textured. We're going to remove again everything from it, but we're going to keep the glass nearby because we are going to use it. We're going to also remove the clips because we are not going to need this. Now, we are going to be spray painting this one, and I decided to go with the red, but you can go any color you want, white, gold, green. Possibilities are endless. I took it outside. I'm just going to spray with a beautiful red by Rust-Oleum spray paint. Once it was dry, I brought it inside, and I'm just going to lightly sand it just to really make that texture pop. But you can skip this part. I'm going to dust it really well, make sure that it's completely dust-free. We're going to flip it to its front, and then we are going to hot glue the glass right back on it. It's pretty lightweight, so it held really well. Once it's attached, we're going to bring in these clings. You know I love window clings for every season. They're so versatile and so easy to use. And because the frame is the glass portion in the middle, it's perfect. It sticks so good. This one is a cute little Santa tree and reindeer. I'm going to take some greenery picks from Dollar Tree. These are their Christmas collection. And I'm going to start hot gluing towards the upper left corner. Just hot glue, kind of hold until it holds and dries. And I just decided to keep it quite simple because there's already so much design with the decal or the cling. I'm going to take this beautiful ribbon. This one is from Hobby Lobby. It's a huge spool that I got, but you can use whatever you have on hand, even from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a very simple bow and then just scrunch it in the middle, tie it with another piece of the same ribbon, leaving a few little legs. We're going to hot glue it to the corner, and then we're going to cut the legs in a dovetail shape. And that's it. Oh my goodness, my friends, this one is so pretty. You can do, again, any color you want. You can use any window clings you want. So many possibilities, so many ideas. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take this cute little tiny frame, but boy, does it have character. I love the wood tone on it. Again, we're going to remove pretty much a lot of it, except we're going to keep some of the middle portion on this one. We're just going to remove that little piece of paper. I'm going to remove also the little part where you can like stand the frame and everything from the back. I'm going to paint the cardboard black. This is just to give it a nice uniform color, but you're not going to be able to see it, so you can skip this if you'd like. I'm going to place it right back where it was and then adjust the clips to make sure they're nice and tight. I'm going to take some of this foam from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hot glue it right in the center. Now we have a nice place where we can add some greenery. Now I'm going to add different types of greeneries. These are a combination of some from Amazon as well as from Dollar Tree, and I love how they look together. I'm going to use that garland with the berries again. If you have a Dollar Tree Plus, this is a highly recommended. You get so many berries, and again, they're different sizes, but larger than what you would find otherwise. I'm going to hot glue them here and there just to add a pop of color, but you can add whatever you want to this. The key is you want to keep it pretty flat on top because we're going to place a faux candle, and you don't want that to tilt or just kind of fall. So just make sure you keep it nice and flat. Once I had it where I want it, we're going to bring in that faux candle. These are battery operated from Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the little tag, turn it on, and it even flickers. How cute! All right, we're going to remove the plastic, and it's as simple as just placing it right on top. We don't want to glue it because we do want to be able to turn it on and off. But look how gorgeous this looks. If you make several of these and use it in a mantle or a table, how gorgeous would that be? Dollar Tree has tons of Christmas decor out, and these LED lights are perfect for crafting. I brought home several of them. We're going to start with this canvas. I got this at Dollar Tree Plus. They are a 16 by 20. They come two in a pack for $5. I'm going to hand paint a pine tree, just an evergreen tree on the right side of the canvas. I'm going to speed it up for you. I love doing these type of crafts and paintings. I don't do them often, but I do enjoy doing them. So I'm just going to take a clean brush and just start dabbing onto the canvas, pretty much just making what will look like a pine tree. Don't be afraid to just try it. It's so easy. Just dab, 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 and what you think will create a pine tree. I did create one that was smaller on the top and then kind of whitened on the bottom. To create what the illusion of what a trunk will look like, I just use some black paint. This is Waverly ink paint, and I'm just gonna make a line down and then add extra paint, green paint on top, dabbing it just so it's kind of muted down just a bit. Once it was dry, I'm going to take a permanent marker and I'm just going to make a few dots. The LED lights that I am going to place are those colorful ones you see on the right side, and they come 10. So I want to make this tree have the lights on them, but I want to put them from the back. So I marked where I wanted to place them. Then I took one of my weeding tools and I'm just going to poke a hole and thread the light. Basically, just going to fold the light just a little bit and then poke it right through. Isn't that cute? How fun was this? I thoroughly enjoyed this craft. I'm going to do the same thing all the way down to the tree. Now, I was limited because I only had 10 lights, but if you want to put more lights on it, just get 2 packs of the lights and then that's it. You'll have more lights on the tree. Once I had it completely covered, I had to come up with a way to kind of hold the lights from the back. So I thought some clear tape would do great, and it did. I'm just going to cut a few pieces and just kind of place them one over each light to ensure that they're not going to go anywhere. And then I also taped the battery pack. I love working with window clings, and this one I actually got at Dollar General for $1. It says Merry and Bright, and I'm just going to place them right there and attach with Mod Podge. Once you dry fit them and you know where you want them, just add Mod Podge to the surface and then place the decal right on top. And then just remove any bubbles that you may see. I did this all the way down to the Bright. I did not seal it on top because I just didn't think it needed it. But if you want to, you can. But look how stunning this looks. That tree, oh my word. Definitely one of my favorites from today. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft for Christmas, I am going to take this poster board. It is bright. You can just use whatever you have. This is what we had at home. Maybe it was left over from a project. I don't know. I'm just going to take a few pieces of tape and have them already handy next to me. And then I am going to create a cone. Once I had the shape and the size that I want, I'm going to take those pieces of tape and just secure it in place. Then I'm just going to start cutting at the bottom. The way you want to do this, you just want to start cutting and then you want to even it out little by little. So I just started cutting depending on what height I wanted the cone to be because this will be a little Christmas tree. I placed it and then just kept cutting until everything was nice and even. Now I want this tree to be white, so I am going to take one of the automobile towels that you can find at Dollar Tree in the automobile aisle. I'm going to place it down, add some hot glue, and then literally start covering the cone with the towel. The easiest way I find is just kind of wrap it around so it looks nice and neat. Hot glue is needed, and because it's a towel and paper, it glues so good. Once it was completely covered, now you want that excess towel to be completely gone, so I just cut off some of the excess and then hot glue it to the inside of the cone.
But the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe.
These beautiful LED lights are gorgeous. They have a greenery and some red berries. I found them at the Dollar Tree Plus section for $5. I ensured that they were working, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the tree from top to bottom. Because it is wired, it held at the top, but you can add a little dab of glue if you need to. Now, the thing with this is you just want to start wrapping, and then if you need to make it tighter, then just go up and above and then just make it tighter and snugger until you have enough without having too much excess lights at the end. Because it is wired, again, you can just fold it towards the inside and hide the battery pack right inside. That's how easy this project is. Holy moly, my friends, this is such a beautiful Christmas tree. You can make it any way you want. What do you think of this one? I love it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY Christmas craft, I am going to take 3 of these clear bulbs. I did recently a video using these, and I just had one more idea I wanted to bring to you. I'm also going to take one of these LED lights, actually 2 of them. The first one I am going to just start placing on the medium size as well as the small size. These lights have a little screw that you just want to remove. You want to place a AA battery right inside. You can find these at Dollar Tree as well. And then you just want to close it up again and tighten the little screw. Just very easy. I want to make a hole on the middle ornament. So I'm going to take the tip of my hot glue and just melt the hole right there on the bottom. Well, what will be the bottom, but basically it's just the top of the ornament. I'm going to thread the lights all the way through, and I'm going to leave 6 of the 10 lights inside the medium ornament. And then I'm going to place 4 of the lights on the small one, thread it through the top portion of the ornament until both ornaments meet right in the center. We're going to create a cute little snowman. We're going to keep it really simple too. You think you're going to love this one. All right, so now we're going to join both ornaments with some hot glue and just place a little ornament top inside the medium one. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom one. I'm going to just melt a hole, thread another set of the lights. This one, because it's larger, we're going to place all 10 lights right inside. Then we're going to take a piece of foam. This is a round foam that you can find at Dollar Tree, 2 in a pack. Add hot glue in the center, and then just press the ornament right in there. The heat from the hot glue is going to melt the foam, and it's going to hold very well. I added a dab of glue in between the middle and the bottom ornament to hold them together. I'm going to take a piece of this beautiful fabric that I already had on hand, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the neck, make it nice and cute, and cut off any excess. I'm going to take some of these dusters, and I'm going to create what will look like a bed of snow right underneath the snowman. So I'm just going to cut the pieces, open them up as I need. These dusters are great for crafting, so next time you're at Dollar Tree, make sure you grab them. They come 3 in a pack. Once the bottom was completely covered, I just added hot glue, and it was plenty sufficient. I want to add a few evergreens. These are ones I get on Amazon, but you can certainly use whatever you find at Dollar Tree as well. These little tiny ones also came from Amazon, and I have everything on my Amazon store, by the way. If I say I got something on Amazon, chances are it's in there, so check it out. It is linked below. I added a cute little pine cone right in the center, and look how simple, fresh, but very festive this beautiful snowman is. I love this one. What do you think? I'm going to go straight to the cleaning aisle, and I'm going to grab 1 box of these 360-degree dusters. They come 3 in a pack, and I cannot wait to show you what I did with it. All right, first things first, though, we want to get some freehand skates drawn here on 2 pieces of cardboard. If you freehand and if you're nervous about it, don't be. You can always erase it. I had to do it a couple of times. Just keep erasing and do it as you need. So I'm just going to freehand a couple of skates. First one, I'm just going to do it literally freehand. And then once I cut it, I'm going to use my blade knife. My suggestion for this, make sure you have a nice, very sharp blade knife. It makes a huge difference. All right, so once I cut the first one, I'm going to use that first one as a guide for the second one. And that way, they're both going to be as close as possible to the same shape and size. Once I had them cut, I am going to paint the blade in this metallic silver. You can also use aluminum foil if you do not have any metallic paint. This one is from Artisa. It's just one I had here forever and a day. I'm finally going to use it, and I'm just going to give it 1 coat. I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. For the actual skates, I'm going to cover them in this beautiful burlap fabric. It has a buffalo check style. I loved it. Now, if you have any fabric you want, go for it. If you have craft paper, go for it. Whatever you need to cover it, you can even paint them. It's fine. Use whatever you have. I'm going to Mod Podge it right onto the skate. And then once I had them completely covered, now I did have to cut just a piece off of it. It was so curled that it was lifting it up for me. I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. And then I'm going to add a huge, thick, large amount of Mod Podge right on top because the burlap fabric is thick. And I want to make sure that it stays split. Once dry, I am going to cut it. Just cut off the excess using blade knife, rotary cutter, scissors, whatever you have. This blade knife is amazing. It's time to then add the little fuzzies from the top. This makes it look just so good, very warm and fuzzy. So I'm going to use that duster. They come 3 in a pack, as I mentioned, and we're just going to need 1 of them. And what you want to do is you want to split them in half because it has like a little pocket in the center to make sure you put in the wand. This time we're just going to open it up and split it into 2. Then we're going to add hot glue and add them to the top of each skate. Aren't these just the cutest? I love using these dusters. All right, you can also use a dusting mop. They work well. These little shelves come with this rope that I have used many, many times before and always kept the little rope. We're going to use them to create laces for my skates. So I'm just going to zigzag it about 3 times on the front of the skate, all the way to about the mid portion, and then do it all the way up again, crisscrossing it. Then I'm going to make a very simple bow, hot glue it to the top of the laces, and I did the same thing on the second skate. I think this added a touch of texture and just one more level of detail that I think could also not be placed, but if you do it, it just takes it to a whole new level. Once I had the laces in place, don't they look so cute? I'm going to hot glue both skates together. You don't have to do this part. I like doing it because they kind of stick together. All right, so now I'm going to add some greenery and pine cones. This is just going to add color, texture, just a festive touch. I did the same thing on both, and we're going to add one more piece of that rope with hot glue as well as a piece of masking tape, and that's it. I got to tell you, I love these skates. They're so cute and cozy and festive, but what do you think? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I want to take these golden frames you can find pretty much year round in the frame section at Dollar Tree. I grabbed 3 of them, and I'm going to remove, of course, the plastic and everything else from it, including the little clips. We're not going to need them. And I did the same thing on all 3 frames. Once you have them, you're just going to want to start placing them kind of like on top of each other. Just look for whatever shape you like. I figured it out which one I wanted. So then once I had it, I'm going to take hot glue and just hot glue them to each other. Just kind of see where they touch each other, add hot glue. You can also, which is what I did for the second one, just mark with a pencil where it lands, and the way you know exactly where to place glue. This was the easiest one yet. Once I have all 3 frames attached, they attached really well because they're made out of like a foam. Really good. All right, I'm going to add some greenery. This is where you can add any decor you want. You can have as much fun as you want. After I added the greenery, I'm going to add some ornaments from Dollar Tree, some picks, and just have some fun. So we're just about done, and I'm just gonna, like you see here, I'm just gonna add this wired bead garland. I curled it a bit and added a couple of them, but look how cute this looks. I don't know why they look different tone. I think it's the way the lighting is hitting it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree Plus tray. It's $5 in their Plus section, and I love the detail that it has on the edge, and I love that it is planked. So I'm going to stain it using this glaze by Rust-Oleum. It's in the brown tone, and I thought at first I could just use a sock, and it was working, but not very effective. So I just decided to brush on the glaze and then remove the excess with the sock or any rag you want. And I did this on the inside, the walls, the outside, the bottom, all over the place. Once dry, I'm going to take this ribbon. Now, this part you can skip if you want. It is completely optional. I'm going to wrap it around the handles. This is just going to add a pop of color, a pop of a festive style, and adding a little bit of hot glue in the beginning and the end really worked well. And then I did the same exact thing on the other side. I'm going to add these little felt pads to the bottom. That way it won't scratch any surfaces. And I'm just going to take a medium-sized one, cutting into 4, and then adding 1 in each corner. Now it slides nice and beautiful, and it's perfect. If you have a cutting machine, go ahead and use your cutting machine. But if you do not, this is how you can do this. We're making a Santa tray. So I'm going to grab a chalk marker. This is just one I had from Artisa, but I believe Dollar Tree has them as well. A white one or any color you want. I'm going to grab something circular and make a round circle. This is where the milk cup is going to go. And then I'm going to take this wooden piece from Dollar Tree, trace it. We're going to put carrots right here. And you can do whatever you want. Anything you have at home that you can use to shape these, use it. Here's a booklet from an instructional booklet that I had. I'm going to use it to place our cookies. So the next thing I want to do is in the little empty space, I'm just going to add a cute little Merry Christmas stencil. This is one I already had from last year. It's a reusable mesh stencil, and I'm going to stencil it using white chalk paint. And this is just going to add just a cute little words and just something to fill in that little area. You can add stickers. You can add whatever you want. It's your project. Have fun. All right, so now I'm going to freehand the milk and cookies and carrots. But again, if you have a cutting machine, definitely use it. So much easier and precise, and it looks way more professional. But for purposes of showing you how to do it without a cutting machine, I'm going to do it myself. And that's it. Look how beautiful this looks. I love the way it turned out. And how fun would it be to have this in your home? What do you think? For the next Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take these wooden blocks. These are ones that we got for Christmas. They are from Artisa, and I got them on Amazon, but I know Dollar Tree has some other ones similar to these. So again, use whatever you have. I'm going to drill a hole on several of them. I want to spell the word joy and the word peace. But first thing I want to do is drill the hole through each one, and then we are going to paint them white. So I am going to use my drill to drill the hole and then some white chalk paint to paint them, and I'm going to do all sides of them. All right, so once you have them painted, just let them dry. They dry pretty quickly. Now I'm going to freehand again the word joy and the word peace, one letter in each block. You can use whatever words you want. You can even customize it and put your kid's name, your grandkid's name, whatever you'd like. You can also use your cutting machine if you have one. All right, so now I'm going to take some red ribbon. This is rope style ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make two little cute tassels. These are going to be nice and small. I'm just going to roll it around several times, tie it in the center. Then I'm going to fold it in half and then tie it on the top. I'm sure you've seen many tassels being done before. So once I have it tied, I'm going to cut off the little loops and then cut off all the strands so they match in size. And again, I did this twice because we want to have two of them. Now I'm going to take a longer piece and I'm going to make a strong, tight knot on the bottom and thread the other side through a stitching needle. And now we're just going to thread each little block, making a knot in between each one, leaving about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch in between each block. I did the same thing. The first one is for the joy one. I'm just going to thread each block and then the final J. Once I have it to the top, I'm just going to knot it, and then I'm going to knot it into a loop. That way, this is where we can hang it from. I'm going to cut off the excess ribbon, and then I'm going to hot glue that cute little tassel right underneath. I'm going to add some greenery and a pine cone just to add some color and texture, and I repeated the process for the other one. And look how cute this look. Oh my gosh, this would make a great gift. What do you think of this one? It's these clear ornaments that you can find at Dollar Tree pretty much every Christmas season. They have them in large as well as smaller ones, and we're going to start with a large one here. And I'm also going to start with this wooden star piece. You can find these in the crafting aisle pretty much year round. I'm going to give this one coat of Waverly chalk paint in the white and put that to the side while it dries. I'm going to start with one of the larger ones, remove the top from it, and then we are going to start filling it in to create a cute light up snow globe. So these little glittery picks you can find during the Christmas season at Dollar Tree. I'm just going to cut a few picks here and there and slide it in through the hole. You just got to be a little bit patient. Just kind of push them in and then just kind of place them and then start arranging them how you want. I'm going to add several of them, but you can add however many you want. Now it's time to bring in some faux snow. Now you can find several styles at Dollar Tree during the Christmas season. These are the ones that are kind of foamy. I'm not gonna lie. This was a bit of a mess and it was not working the way I thought it would work. So then I grabbed a funnel and this worked okay. I just needed to get them in there somehow without it flying around because they're foam. So the fan was kind of blowing everywhere. They were getting stuck. So then I said, okay, I'm going to start to create my own funnel with some craft paper. This is like stock paper and see if this works better. I was trying, friends. I was trying. This worked so much better. So if you're going to recreate this, just create your own funnel. All right, here we go. So now it's looking a little bit more like a snow globe. So I'm going to use some of this other type of snow, and this is just kind of like, it's like a white sand almost. And I'm just going to place it right in there just to create, again, more of a snowy feel. Now, I want this globe to light up. So we also want to place some Christmas lights. But I need to poke a hole. So I want to add this hole right to one of the sides of the ornament. I'm going to use my burning tube, but you can also use the tip of your hot glue gun. Keep that in mind. All right, so these LED lights you can find at Dollar Tree pretty much year-round, different styles, but this one specifically from the Christmas selection. And then I'm going to add some batteries and then start to thread them in through the hole. This worked really well. Just take your time, be patient, and thread them in. Just let them fall wherever they fall. Now you can always put your scissors inside and just kind of move them around as you need. Of course, you're going to have the battery pack. Just leave that out. And then we're going to hot glue the ornament onto the white star. Some hot glue really did the work and it worked out really good. And then I want to add some greenery. Now you can add any type of greenery. You can add snowy greenery, which I'll use in a later project. But for this one, because there's already so much white, I am going to stick with some greenery green. So I'm going to hot glue it to what will be the front and just kind of add some extra decor just for a festive look. And we're just about done. I mean, you can add any color to this. You can add reds. I decided to keep it in the silver kind of tone. Look how stunning this looks. I love the way this one turned out. The battery pack, it's in the back and it's safely hidden. For the next Dollar Tree Christmas craft, I'm going to take another wooden piece. And yes, I'm going to paint it white again. But I promise you, this is going to be for a completely different craft. I'm going to use chalk paint again by Waverly in the white, and then I'm going to put that to the side and let it dry. I'm going to take a piece of dowel that was left over from my previous project, and I am going to paint it white, leaving it about 1 inch on one side without paint. Again, I'm going to put that to the side and let it dry. Now I'm going to take this leftover wallpaper roll, and I'm going to drill a hole about 4 inches from one side. This drill bit actually fits the size of the dowel. I'm going to sand it smooth, and then I'm going to bring in the dowel, add hot glue to the hole, and stick it right in. We're going to create a cute little North Pole pole. All right, so now it's time to just cover the pole with some ribbon. You can use any ribbon you like. I like this one. It has very traditional Christmas colors. I'm going to roll it all the way around to the top, securing it in place with some hot glue. All right, so now it's time to bring in a smaller ornament. This is plastic again, clear, remove the top from it. And I'm going to use some LED lights once again. Now these I get on Amazon. You can use the ones from Dollar Tree. All right, so now that all the lights are in, I'm going to add some hot glue on the outside of the top of the ornament and place it inside of the roll. Right there. And then we're going to hot glue the battery pack to what will be the back of the pole. Now I'm going to add hot glue to the bottom of the pole and add it to the white piece. All right, so now I want to create a cute little welcome home little banner for the stick, the dowel. So I'm going to use some of this craft paper that complements the color very nicely. I'm going to use these stickers from Dollar Tree. They're cute and little in farmhouse style. One says welcome, so I'm going to place it to the top. And then I'm going to freehand a home. Although if you have a cutting machine, you can use your cutting machine. I'm going to hot glue it to the dowel. Nice and simple. This is such an easy project and how fun. All right, so now it's time to add some greenery. These are frosted greenery. Yes, the camera was not focusing on the right thing, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. Just keep adding whatever you want. Have fun. I did want to add something larger to the front, so I have this little white reindeer. It's an ornament from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take the bow out, hot glue him or her to the base, and then add another little cute bow just in a golden tone because I think it really pops with that ribbon. and that's it. This is so adorable. You can make this with your kiddos, with your grandkids, with friends, just for fun. It's gorgeous.
Keeping people pleased, but this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to
For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take this jar. It has a lantern style look. I'm going to remove the actual wrap around the rim and keep it because you never know when you're going to use it. And then I'm going to remove the sticker from the bottom. I'm going to fill the jar with some pillow stuffing to make it a little white. And then I'm going to take another small ornament, clear plastic. At first, I thought I can stuff it with some pillow stuffing. It was not filling. So change of plans. I'm just going to add more lights. These are different types of lights from Dollar Tree, battery operated. I'm just going to stuff them in the ornament. Same thing, except this time we can't drill a hole because, or not drill, but burn a hole because it's glass. So we're just going to keep it hanging, add hot glue to the rim, and add the ornament. We're going to tape the battery pack to the bag, and it actually stuck pretty well. And then we're going to make a cute little snowman with this project. So we are going to take some ribbon, tie it on the neck, make a simple bow, cut off the excess ribbon in a dovetail style. And then I want to freehand a cute little face and some buttons. So at first I thought I'd start with permanent marker. It wasn't sharp enough. So then I'm going to just move on to the nose, the carrots. I'm just going to add some orange paint and create a nose. And then I'm just going to add some paint right over the buttons just to make them look like holes. Then I'm going to add a cute little dot style smile and then a couple of eyes. Then when I was done, I realized that the buttons did not match the same direction as the face. So I removed those buttons and added new ones. I tell you, friends, just have fun with the process. And look how gorgeous he looks. I'm actually glad that it turned out where I couldn't put the pillow stuffing inside his head because it looks so cute. For the next Dollar Tree Christmas DIY craft, I'm going to take this leftover pot, just like a tiny little baby terracotta pot from Dollar Tree from the summer section. I'm going to open up the hole from the bottom by just using my hammer and a small little screwdriver. Just take your time and do it very lightly and whiten the hole until the ornament fits right inside. Yay for that. Cleaning up. All right, so then we're going to paint the little terracotta pot in a bright red. This is Rust-Oleum Farmhouse Red. We're going to do one coat. All right, so now I have these little pom-poms that I've kept from previous projects. I thought, why don't we stuff, the little ornament with them? And then I add these cute little red ones just to add a pop of red color inside. So I'm going to add a few inside. Now, to make sure that nothing's going to fall through the hole, I'm just going to put one extra pom-pom and plug the hole. That's simple. I'm going to add some hot glue and add the ornament right on top. It looks like a little gumball machine. How cute! This was a Pinterest-inspired one. You can find all kinds of inspiration. All right, so here's where things get a little difficult again. I want to give it a Santa look. So I thought about using some vinyl that I had at home, some from Dollar Tree, some from Cricut. But it didn't work out, but I'm going to show you the process, okay? So I added the black vinyl as the belt, and it was just not quite sticking, and it was dry. I wasn't sure what was happening. It was also too wrinkly because of the round and the shape of the terracotta pot. So I'm going to take some golden vinyl. This one's from Cricut, but use what you have at home. And I'm going to create the little belt buckle. You can see me there trying to really make it stick. Friends, it was not working. I'm going to show you here. You see all those wrinkles? It was bubbling up. No matter what I did, it was just not working. So I removed it. And we're just going to freehand it. I'm going to use a permanent marker to create the belt. You can use paint too. I just thought I'd be a little bit more precise with the permanent marker, and it worked well. After I was done with the belts, I'm going to create a belt buckle just using gold paint. This is gold paint that I had on hand from Arteza. Again, use what you have on hand. And we're just about done. We're going to keep it simple, but you can add whatever you want to the little globe. I think it's so adorable. I love the way this one turned out, the simplicity. How fun is this one? These Christmas window cleans. I love them. They're so easy. Peel and stick, literally. But did you know that you can use them for way more than just putting them on your windows or on your door? Let me show you. I found this beautiful farmhouse style sign that had 3 rounds to them, and I thought for $1.25, I can break this up and turn it into 3 different things. And what better than to use them to make ornaments? They were just perfect. I took off the jute string and then I am going to sand them down just to rough them up, remove any excess sheen, and wipe them really, really well because we want to put some vinyl on top. Now you can paint them if you want, but I'm going to use this vinyl that I have from Cricut. But Dollar Tree has a ton of vinyl, so make sure to take that out if you want to. So I'm just going to remove the back, and then we're just going to place the wood rounds right there on the vinyl. We're just going to cover them. Now this vinyl has a glossy finish, which is perfect because window clings stick to vinyl really well. So I'm just going to sand down the edges. You just want to sand in a downward motion to remove the excess vinyl. Here's the first window cling from Dollar Tree. I think they're so beautiful. When I removed them, I realized, oh, they're sticky. They're not like a regular window cling where you can remove it back and forth. These are actually sticky. So they worked really well, and that'll work well in any surface. I'm going to add in some of these little tiny greenery picks that I got recently on Amazon on the top with a little pine cone. Hot glue them in place, and then I'm going to do similar style on the other two, but keeping them a little bit different just to create a nice set. These cute little snowmen are so beautiful. I'm going to add a couple of these picks and then a couple of these frosted berries right on top. Of course, these are going to be ornaments, so I want to make sure I have something to hang them from. This ribbon is from Dollar General from last year's Christmas selection. I'm just going to loop it and hot glue them to the back. I did the same thing on the other two, and now we have a beautiful set of 3 ornaments. That is so cute. These would be great to gift them. What do you think? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take this wood round. You can find these all the time at Dollar Tree. I use them for crafts and I love them. They're so versatile. I'm going to take more of that vinyl, but again, you can paint it if you want, or you can use a Dollar Tree vinyl. Again, this is just what I had on hand. I'm going to cover it up, making sure that I am placing them nice and removing any bubbles that you may see. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier, and I'm just going to sand down the edges for a very smooth finish. You can also cut it, but I have found that sanding them down really leaves a nice soft edge, and it's not going to fray. I found these at Dollar General. These are $1, and I loved it. I mean, $1 obviously is a little less than Dollar Tree, but it's a good option to find different designs. I'm just going to peel and stick them. Now, these are truly window clings, no stickiness, but they stick very well to the vinyl because of the glossy finish. And I'm just going to start adding them, removing them, and adding them until I see a design that I like. All right, so now that I have the ornaments where I want them, I'm going to add some greenery to the top. And we're going to use a mixture of just different evergreen picks that I got on Amazon. But you can also use what you find at Dollar Tree. I'm going to hot glue them in place. And then I want to keep this on the simple side because I wanted the ornaments to be the star of the design. So I'm going to take one of these little pine cones from Dollar Tree. They are new to my local Dollar Tree. They have a beautiful cinnamon smell to them, and I just love using these. I'm going to add one right there in the center, and then I'm going to add a couple extra little small picks, and then I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not going to add anything red, no bows, nothing. I'm going to add some of these pipe cleaners. These are the silver kind, and we're going to hot glue them going from underneath the arrangement all the way to the middle ornament as well as the left ornament to make it look like they are hanging from the branch. I didn't do it on the right side because it was covered up and you wouldn't have seen it anyways. This beautiful ribbon is from Hobby Lobby. I got it so long ago, so many yards. It has lasted me forever. I looped it and hot glued it to the back, and look how beautiful this looks. So simple, so easy. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? I found these foam cones. You've probably seen them before. I have, and I never grabbed them. Not sure why. This time I grabbed several, but today we're going to use one, and I'm also going to use this wood round. It's thicker. It's almost like an ornament. I loved it. I love the thickness. All right, so I drilled a hole on the wood round to fit a dowel added hot glue, and now I'm going to cut the dowel to maybe about 2.5 inches long. I'm going to paint the whole thing red. This is Farmhouse Red by Rust-Oleum Chalk Paint, as well as about 1.5 inches up the dowel. You don't have to do the rest of it. I'm going to put that to the side, let it dry, and I'm going to bring in the cone. I'm also going to take this ribbon from Dollar Tree. It's a little thick, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Then once I have it cut into completely half, I'm going to then cut the strips into 4-inch long. I want to cover the entire cone with this ribbon, but I want to give it a little fullness. So after I cut them, I'm just going to fold them in half and then start hot gluing them all around the foam cone. Now, the key here is to, when you start at the bottom, work your way up, and make sure that first row lines up very nicely with the bottom of the foam. On the top, I simply just wrapped around a couple of strips just to hide the white foam. All right, so now I'm going to take some of these garland ties. You can find these during the Christmas season at Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut pieces that are about between 1 and 1.5 inches long, and I'm going to start hot gluing them all around the cone, which is now a little tree. And I'm just going to skip about every other ribbon, give or take, just hot glue it where you feel it's needed. Once I reach the top, I'm just going to add one to the top, but vertically. This is going to give it that nice pointy look right at the top. And then I'm going to add one more, and I'm just going to roll it around the surface. Then it's time to just add a couple little bead or berry picks. I'm just going to add a red one as well as a golden one to pull from that gold tone from the ribbon. I'm going to hot glue them to the base. And then I'm going to add one more item. I added this greenery and then changed my mind and changed it to a cute little ornament from Dollar Tree. But I think this tree turned out so beautiful and the possibilities are endless. For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take this plastic wine glass from Dollar Tree and I'm going to take it outside and spray paint it red. This is just a red from Rust-Oleum spray paint selection, and I'm just going to do one coat. It was pretty sufficient. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to take another one of those wooden rounds from Dollar Tree. This one we're going to paint white. I'm going to create a little lantern, and I've never created one like this, so I'm really excited to show you. Once it was dry, I am going to take the wood round, and I thought I needed to drill a hole. It already had a hole, and I think I need to drill it a little closer to the center. So I drilled it, sanded it down, and then realized, yeah, that's not going to work because it covers it, the wine glass. So eventually I just whitened the original hole and then hot glued it to the piece. I am now going to thread these lights. These are battery operated from Dollar Tree, and you can pretty much find these year round. I'm going to thread them very carefully through the hole, and then I am going to whiten just a little tiny hole at the bottom of the wine glass so that I can create a little opening. That way, when I place the battery inside the glass, I have a place where I can place the wire and it's not going to wobble on me. So once I had it in place, I'm going to take this little bowl. You can find these again at Dollar Tree year round. Remove the paper or the sticker from it. Threaded all the lights right inside of it. And this time, I'm just going to place it on top. You can glue it if you want. I decided not to because it's where it's going to be placed. It's not going to be moved around. But use what you have, and if you want to hot glue it, you can. I grabbed this ribbon from Dollar Tree. It's a beautiful Christmas farmhouse truck one. I made a double loop bow, tied it around the neck of the wine glass, and then I'm going to take some of these greenery. Now, these I got on Amazon, and I do have on my Amazon store. They come a ton in a packet. A good price for it too, but you can find these at Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to grab two and hot glue one to the top and one towards the bottom. Then I'm going to add a cute little ornament right to the center and this frosted berry right on the other side. And that's it. Oh my word. Wait until you see it in a darker room. I love, love, love the way this one turned out. What do you think? It's one of my favorites from today. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take some white nautical rope and I'm going to start rolling it around. I'm going to start really tightly, just adding hot glue slowly. And then we're just going to keep rolling it around, adding hot glue as needed to create a piece that is about 5 inches wide. All right, so once I had it in the size that I needed, I'm just going to cut off the excess, hot glue that frayed portion carefully. And then we're going to add this cute little garland. It's like a grapevine garland. I find these at Amazon all the time. They come a whole bunch in a little packet. I'm going to hot glue it to the center and then add some leftover picks from the previous picks that I used. I'm just going to kind of curl them a little bit and hot glue them all around the wreath. Then we're going to add ribbon. We want to make sure we can hang this ornament. So I'm just going to add this striped ribbon from Dollar Tree to the back, loop it, and that way we can hang it from there. Now this is when you can get so creative and add whatever you want to the wreath. You can leave it like this, maybe add something in the center. I thought it needed a little bit of color and I wanted to bring that red out. So I'm going to add these little bells. They come in a little garland, so they kind of come apart when you separate them. So you just have to glue the little top portion, no big deal. I'm going to hot glue 5 of them all around the little wreath. And that's about it for this one. Such a simple one. I kept it on the simple side, but you can add whatever you want to it. This will make a great gift. What do you think of this one? It's one of my favorites. For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to start with this craft paper. Now, you can find these at the craft stores. This one is a Christmas themed. I wanted to show you the beautiful designs it comes with. If you do not have a booklet with craft paper, this is one that you should have. They have such beautiful designs. I'm going to use this wood round from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use these 2 designs from the craft book. And then I'm going to spray the adhesive spray right over it and then just cover it with the craft paper. Once it was fully covered, then I just flipped it over and used my rotary cutter to cut off the excess paper. You can use your scissors if you'd like. You can also sand it off, which I use all the time. In this case, I decided to just cut it off, and then I used my sanding block to smooth those edges out. And basically, you just want to sand downwards, not upwards, because it'll pull the paper. It just makes it nice and smooth. So now I'm going to take some foam core from Dollar Tree and I'm going to freehand what will be the top of an ornament. And that's what we're making today, an oversized ornament. It could be used on a wall, it could be used on a mantle, it could be used anywhere. So I cut off the piece using my blade knife, and then I'm just going to cover with some aluminum foil, just wrapping it up and cutting off any excess. And then I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the ornament. And then I'm just going to add some greenery. This greenery is a pick from Dollar Tree. I split it in half, and then I'm just going to hot glue 1 to one side, 1 to the other. Add the little pine cones that it came with. And then I just want to add a nice large poinsettia. This is the kind that you can buy at Dollar Tree in the little pots. I just removed the little pot and removed the stem. And then I'm just going to hot glue it right in the center. So easy, so simple. Now I wanted to add something a little bit more longer. So I am going to cut off some of these picks. These are actually from the 4th of July collection, but they're glittery and they're red. So why not? I'm just going to add a couple, 1 to each side, hot glue it underneath the greenery, and then we are going to add a little circular ring. You know how ornaments have that little top portion? Now I had this left over from these hanging shelves from Dollar Tree. It comes with their little rope and this ring, and I always kept the rings because I just thought, why not? And here we are. I used it for this and I think it turned out so adorable. I love this one. I think it's my favorite, but I don't know. Which one's yours? These towels, these are found in the car aisle, and I brought home a couple, and I'm going to join forces with cardboard. You're going to want to see what I make with these. All right, first thing is I'm going to make a triangle tree. You've seen these before. I thought I was going to make it a little smaller. I ended up making it a little bigger, and I'm so glad I did. I'm going to use my very favorite blade knife that I do have on my Amazon store if you want to check it out. It is sharp, it is easy to work with, and so good on my hands. Now I'm going to make some horizontal lines going from the bottom to the top. I'm going to give this tree a little chippy kind of neutral color, and you're going to see what I do. I'm going to have a scraper, and I'm going to dip it in some white chalk paint, just a little edge on the bottom. And then I'm going to start scraping on the paint. So I'm going to do it in every other section that I drew. And basically, I just want to give this a weathered look. That's it. Because the cardboard has those natural dents, it really created a nice distressed look. So I'm going to do this here on the second from the bottom one, and then do every other one. And now it's time to add some of that towel. Now this is a piece I had left over from another project, and I'm going to cut off a piece that is just about the size of each empty space. I'm going to hot glue it in place, and then I'm going to cut off the excess from the edges. And I'm going to do that on all the other spaces. So now you see kind of where this is going. It just looks like it's frosted, snowy tree. Loving it. I'm going to take a piece of scrap wood. This is a piece of 1x4 that I had in the garage, obviously from another project. I'm going to sand it smooth, and I'm going to give it a fresh coat of white chalk paint. You can use any color you want. You can even use more cardboard if you'd like. I like the wood because it made it nice and sturdy. I'm just going to use some Waverly chalk paint and give it a coat on the top, the bottom, everywhere. Let that dry. I'm going to take another piece of cardboard, and it just doesn't matter what size. This is just to add a stem or a trunk to the tree so that we can place it on the base. So I'm just going to hot glue it in place and leaving about maybe about 2 inches from the bottom. I'm going to add a dab of glue and then just add glue in the front, the sides, as well as the back, just to add a nice strong hold. And then it dawned on me, I can use cardboard. So I'm going to take another piece of cardboard, fold it in half like an L shape, and hot glue it to the back of the tree and then the base. And this absolutely did it. Now I'm going to add a piece of foam to the front of the tree. This is so that we can add some florals. These greenery picks I do get on Amazon, although you can use the ones from Dollar Tree. I just feel like you get more bang for your buck when I get them on Amazon, but Dollar Tree carries many evergreen picks and they're beautiful. So I'm just going to start placing some here and there, kind of like to the sides of the foam, and I'm going to mirror each side. So whatever I put on the right side, I'm going to put on the left side. And then I'm going to keep it pretty simple, and I'm just going to add a nice large red poinsettia. This is just going to add a pop of color and make it so festive. Oh my goodness, my friends, this is gorgeous. I love the look, how easy it was, but I'd love to know what you think. For the next cardboard craft, I'm going to take another piece of cardboard and I'm going to freehand what will look like a mitten. And I'm just going to again use my blade knife to cut it. And then I'm going to use the first one to trace a second one so that I have 2 mittens that look in similar shape and size. Once they're cut to size, I'm just going to bring in a brand new towel. These are, again, just in the car aisle. Just grab one and then cut off a piece that is going to be large enough to cover the mitten. I want that bottom portion to be flat and then the rest on top to be fluffy. So I'm just going to start at the bottom by placing the towel and some hot glue, and it sticks so good to the cardboard. And I'm just going to add hot glue to that bottom portion, flatten it out, and then to the remaining portion, I'm just going to start gluing and adding some pillow stuffing so it has a nice cushion to it. The beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that a good time? We're just about done with the front of the mitten, and then it's time to do the back. Now I decided to just keep it simple and just wrap it around with the excess, hot gluing as needed. I also had to make a few little cuts just to make sure that it's going to lay nice and flat. But no big deal. Take your time, hot glue, if whatever you want. It's up to you. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the second mitten. But of course, I'm not going to show you that one because we already did this one. But just so you know, repeat the process in the second mitten. And then it's time to just start adding some decor to them. We have 2 cute little mittens that look identical. I'm going to add ribbon. This is from Dollar Tree from last year's selection. Just going to add it right there to the bottom portion, some hot glue, and then bring it to the back. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is where you can have fun. You can add whatever decor you want, or you can leave them just as is. I decided to add these little frosted picks. I'm going to divide them into 2 picks and add 1 on each one. I'm going to do it on the opposite side as the thumb because it just felt good there. And then I add some berries and some little pine cones just to add texture and color. And I did the same exact thing to the other ones so they mirror each other. And then we need to, of course, have a way to hang them. So I thought the best way to do it is just to add some more of that same ribbon, add a little dab of hot glue to the back, and just loop it. And that's it. What a cute, oh my gosh. This is definitely one of my favorites. I've never done mittens before, and it was so much fun. For this next cardboard craft, I'm going to take another piece of cardboard, of course, and I'm going to make some small little trees. We're going to make some cute little ornaments, and I think this is a perfect craft to do with friends, your kids, or even your grandkids. It's such an easy one. Once you have the little tree free-handed, it's just a very simple triangle tree, and I gave it a cute little trunk. I'm going to cut it again with my blade knife, and then I'm going to use that first one to create a second one, so again, they match in size. The beautiful part of this is that you can create as many as you want. I'm going to make 2 of them, but you can create 10, 15, 20. They're so easy and quick to do. Once I had them cut, I'm going to start with some yarn. This yarn is a fluffy one that I got at Michael's so long ago. I've had it for probably 3 years now. And I'm just going to start in the back and then start adding hot glue at the front edge and the back edge so that that first loop is nice and secure. And then you're just going to want to work your way up. When you get to the part with the tree edges, add another thin line of hot glue and then place the yarn and just hold it just for a few seconds till it holds. Flip it over, add another line of hot glue to the back edge. Once it hardens, go for it. Just start looping it all the way around, wrapping it to the top. At the very top, add a little dab of hot glue to secure it in place. And then I just work my way back down to cover any little empty spaces.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately.
I'm going to secure it in the back with some hot glue. And then we're going to bring in a nice dark red yarn from Dollar Tree. Again, we're going to start on the back of the tree. I'm going to hot glue a little piece, and then I'm going to make sure that I give it a cute little crisscross design in the front. I'm going to do it again a little bit slower so you kind of see what I'm talking about. Once you reach the top, just hot glue it to the back. It's important that you start and finish in the back so that all those little strands are in the back and not the front. So here's the slower version. You just want to crisscross it very easily. And then when you reach the top, just bring it to the back, hot glue it, and then cut it. I'm going to make a little loop with the same yarn just so that we can hang it, knot it in one end, and hot glue it to the back. I did the same thing to the other one. And look how cute this looks. Such an easy craft. Again, great to do with the kiddos. What do you think of this one?
It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you so.
We're creating some high-end Christmas ornament dupes, and I'm going to start with these Dollar Tree ornaments. You can find them pretty much every year during Christmas season, and I'm just going to remove everything from them. The fabric, the decor, everything. I just want to have the foam ball. The goal here today is to recreate the look and the feel of each high-end decor. So for this first one, I'm going to take this golden ribbon that has tons of texture, very glittery. I'm going to remove the wire portion of it on each side, and then I'm going to cut it in half. That way, I'm going to have smaller, thinner strips that are way more manageable. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue, and I'm just going to start wrapping the ball with it. And again, the goal is to just get it as close to looking as possible to the original high-end decor. Once I had it pretty much wrapped up and covered, I'm just going to secure it with hot glue and take this golden, it's just like a string. I'm going to tie it in a loop, and then I am going to place it with some flexible wire. I'm going to fold the flexible wire, thread it through the string, and then just push the flexible wire right onto the foam. That's it for the first one. All right, so for the second one, we're going to recreate again the golden look of the original. So I'm going to take one of the foam balls. I'm going to take some of these sequins from Dollar Tree. These are in the golden tone. I'm going to put them in a paper plate. I sprayed the ball with some adhesive spray and tried to glue them. It did not work. So I removed most of them, and then I'm just going to pull out my gold leaves. Now, if you've never worked with gold leaf, it's so fun. It's a little messy, but it's truly fun. I'm just going to start wrapping it around the ball. It's already sticky from the spray, and I don't mind that there's still some sequins on the ball. It's okay. We're just going to cover it up and then press it and remove any excess flakes. And then anywhere where I see a little bit of white, I'm just going to add some of those sequins. I'm going to add a little dab of glue and then add some sequins. I got to tell you, this was a lot of fun. It was a little messy with all the, you know what I mean, but it was fun. So once I had it all covered up, I'm going to make a little hole with one of the skewers. I'm going to add hot glue, one of those loops with the golden string, and push it right in. That's for the second one. For the third one, I'm going to take some of this metallic paint. This is from Artisa. Use any paint you want, okay? This is just what I had on hand, and I love that it has a little bit of a golden tone. So I'm just going to place the ball again on a skewer stick, and I'm just going to paint it. It's a little sheen. It's okay. It doesn't matter if I see some of it. This is just to add color and make it nice and golden tone. So now that the paint is wet and is fully covered, I'm going to take some glitter from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to start pouring it. I'm just going to start placing it. This one, again, was a lot of fun. And I'm just going to start doing it until it's completely covered. And I did spray the surface with a top coat from Rust-Oleum. I didn't show it. I don't know why, but I just took a top coat, clear, sprayed it, make sure that it's nice and secure. I added one of those strings once again with hot glue, and then I'm going to make a very simple multiple lupo with a pipe cleaner in the golden tone, hot glue it to the top. And that's it. Let me show you what the original inspiration looked like. And this is mine. I gotta say, I kind of like mine better. I know I'm a little biased, but let me know what you think. The second high-end inspiration comes from Etsy, and these beautiful ornaments are for $430, and I'm going to try to recreate with Dollar Tree ornaments. Now, I don't have 4 ornaments. I do have one additional one, so I'm going to take this one, remove everything from it. I am going to keep those 2 little things because we're going to use them in a little bit. I'm also going to take one of these shelf strings. So these shelves you can find at Dollar Tree, and I use them all the time to make crafts, and I always keep the little rope that comes with them, and I'm going to use them for this ornament. All right, so I'm going to start by just creating like a little swirl with the rope with hot glue. This is just going to get me started. Then once I had a nice little size one, I'm just going to hot glue it to the bottom of the ornament and just keep adding glue and rolling it around. So simple and very easy and so fun. Also, I actually had a lot of fun doing these. So I'm going to do that all the way till the entire ornament is covered. As I was covering the ornament, one of the ropes did not match in color. It was actually a little lighter in tone. It's okay. You can see it right there. It's like the top portion of the ornament. It worked out in the end. I don't know why they were different colors, but it is what it is. We'll work with it. All right, I'm going to take some more of that rope and I am going to make a loop and then add some hot glue right there in the whole opening on the top and place it right in. Just got to squish it in. And then we're going to add some of those decor that was already on the original ornament. This is just to add some of the greenery. Now, the original inspiration had a very neutral colors, but for this one, I'm going to add greens and reds just to make it a little bit more traditional. And again, we're trying to recreate the entire look of it. And then I'm just going to place the red berries right in the center. Of course, I want to remind you what the original looked like. Beautiful ornaments. And then this is what mine looks like. I gotta say, I think this is one of my favorites. I love the texture of it. Well, what do you think? The next high-end Christmas ornament that I am going to attempt to recreate the look for is this beautiful keepsake one. If you have somebody's who's passed away, maybe their shirt, this is just a great way to reuse one of those shirts and create a keepsake ornament. I'm going to try to recreate it with this ornament that already has a beautiful buffalo check kind of plaid look. It's not blue, but it is beautiful. So I removed everything from the top, and I'm going to take one of these fabrics that I removed from the previous ornament. I'm going to add hot glue, fold it, Then I'm going to add hot glue again and fold it again. This is to create that seam, that middle shirt type seam where the buttons are going to go. Very simple, very easy. You can also sew it if you'd like, but hot glue, I'll take that. It's so easy. All right, so once I have it folded for the second time, I'm just going to cut off the excess fabric as close as possible to the edge. And then we are going to place it right on the center, right down the center of the ornament, just like the original. I'm going to hot glue the top. I'm going to hot glue the bottom. And then I'm going to cut off the excess as close as possible to the seam so it looks nice and professional. Found 3 buttons that are white. I think it will look great on this one. They're different sizes, so I'm just going to place them larger from the bottom to smaller to the top. And a little bit of hot glue goes a long way. And then it's time to add some greenery. This is the same one that already came with the original ornament. I'm just going to place it right on top. It's going to hide all that extra glue that was left over there. And I'm going to add the the little pine cone that came with it and some red berries right on top. And of course, we need something to hang the ornament. So I'm just going to take some jute string, very simple, do the same thing, loop it, tie it on the bottom, and then hot glue it right there behind all the decor. Let me remind you what the original inspiration looked like. And this is what mine looks like. I love this one. It has such a farmhouse, rustic, country look to it, but what a great gift it would make. The next high-end Christmas ornament inspiration comes from Kirkland. These 2 flocked pinecone ornaments, a set of 2, are $15. And I think we can tell that it's going to be pretty easy to redo, right? But let's try it and see how I did it. All right, so I'm going to take this huge pine cone. I already had it from my stash from last year. And I'm going to add one of the looped strings, tie it, and hot glue it. I'm going to spray the entire thing with some adhesive spray and add some flour. This is just what I had on hand, friends. Use what you have. You can use fake snow if you'd like. It's okay. I just want to add that dusty, kind of snowy look that it had. Now, once it was completely covered, I'm just going to shake it off and remove any excess from it. And then we're going to take some paint. This is chalk paint Waverly in the white, and I'm just going to start dabbing it pretty much all over the tips, in between the little pine cones, wherever you want. I just want this to look clumpy and snowy and frosted. There is definitely no right or wrong way to do this. Just have fun, get messy. But let me show you what the originals look like. And this is what mine looks like. Definitely an easy craft to do. I love this one. It got messy, but I had a lot of fun. What do you think of this one? And this is it, my friends. I have another video here for you to watch with tons more of Christmas crafting inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.